aggressive.
Yeah, the Lings are going to come up now. They are hitting, and I just feel like there might be enough Archons that he can kind of deal with this, but the Archons need to be covering the Zealots and the Stalkers, and they're getting fragmented. And crazily enough, I think the Lings might be able to take out that final Archon, and from there you just need to get a few more Lings out. Well, hold on a second. Does he just barely have enough of like these tier 1 units? Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it just kind of spirals out of control. The Archons are so amazing against Lings with the splash damage, obviously. And I'm not sure if Rogue planned on this attack from the beginning, or if he just, like you say, oh, I've lost 8 drones, I'm just going to send it. But MaxPax was able to lose his third, have his Stalkers across the map, and still hold that.
My experience at times has been like, if you're against a really good Zerg and you get like an edge, like you have one of those moments where you're like, oh, my Adepts are going to kill 7 or 8 drones. It's almost better to treat it like now they're going to all in. Because, some of these Zergs, when they're so good, if they're not in that perfect position, they're going to be more comfortable trying to all in from there. But great game. Interesting to see Rogue continuing to counterattack back there and almost making it work. But at the same time, also seeing that MaxPax is going to counterattack the counterattack, which you don't normally see in the matchup.
Right. I really think if Rogue was able to break the natural of MaxPax there when the Banelings would hit in the units and they just didn't have the damage to take those units down, if they do get in, I think the game completely changes. But MaxPax's crisis management was top-notch. He was able to stop the Lings getting the natural, keep the damages to a minimum, and just, from there, play it out with the numbers advantage, right?
Yeah, we're going to go to 10,000 feet now for game number 2. MaxPax with a 1-0 lead. Rogue electing to try to end that game very quickly, but ultimately failing with a counter push there for MaxPax. Are we going to have something similar here in game number 2? We're going to find out.
Yeah, indeed. In the bottom right, we have MaxPax as the blue Protoss, and in the top left, we have Rogue as the red Zerg. I think one thing we can say in this game is we probably don't expect 2 Adepts to kill that many drones again, right? That's like one thing that happens, and you go, oh, no, I just need to deal with that better. And then in game 2, you kind of clean it up.
It's one of those, this is going all the way around.
Yeah, this may be one of these proxy hatch builds. We saw Reyna use that a lot in Group A. He was he was doing it with 12 pools, so it's kind of different. But you can proxy the hatch to lay the nexus of the Protoss.
Look at this. He's like, oh no, I want to make a base here.
Oh, he's taking it there. Very interesting.
Oh yeah, no, you can do that on this map. Okay.
Yeah, so not denying the Protoss natural, but he will have creep outside the wall off of the Protoss. You can definitely be very, very aggressive from this if he wants to.
So the only way, well, he should actually hide that drone that's coming back, because that would give away what's happening here. I almost think when you're doing this build, I guess it doesn't matter because it wasn't seen, but you really want to like sell that there is a second hatchery somewhere, in one of the 2 other possible locations you could expand at. Because the probe, there's other things they could scout. They don't have to stay in the main. They could confirm the location of the second hatch, or see that it's not there, and then okay, this is like a scumbag hatchery. It's like somewhere in my natural, or it's just outside my natural. But he's not doing that right now, so there's no way to tell.
But I think right now, as he goes down this ramp, the alarm bells might start to be ringing here. He just doesn't see that hatchery there. He's going to go over, see there's no hatchery here, go to this other third base location. And when he sees there's no hatchery here, MaxPax might just go into full panic mode here.
Yeah.
He might start sending something out the front to see if there is a hatchery. That might be what this probe's going to do.
Yeah, the probe's going to come down. And is he going to move? Okay, now he might still suspect this is coming. Oh, no, yeah, he knows for sure there's creep here.
Yeah, he's chronoing out this unit as fast as he can. He's already got something.
I'm like, he might not know that that's creep. He might just think that part of the map is silver.
Yeah, so he does know now, and let's see how good his response is. He's getting the Adepts. He's still going to go for the Stargate. 2 spine crawlers being made at this hatchery, so he's going to plant those down in front of the wall here and start to chip away at these Protoss buildings.
Yeah, and so, this is a game where Protoss has to just not die, but it's going to be really tough. The Zerg is going to have a lot of momentum, and if the wall-in gets broken open, it could be fatal. So batteries are going to come down here. He needs to basically do whatever it takes to sandbag the attack that's going to come through here. The spine crawlers burrow. Remember, they don't burrow that fast, so like the placement of that's really important. Like, was that burrow too far up and can't hit the buildings below it? Stuff like that. Also, remember that the cybernetics core is pivotal tech here. It's part of the wall end, but if you lose that, you can't make it like adepts or stalkers or anything like that.
Yeah, one interesting interaction to keep an eye on here is the air versus the anti-air. Right now, we only have one queen at the front with another one being made. Oracles are on the way, so you will need enough anti-air at some point. Right now, though, these buildings are starting to take a beating, going down. This gateway will fall. The Cybercore now under attack, not being healed by these shield batteries here. This probe is just hanging out over there. Oh, the Lings get in!
So he's going to run right into the main. Oh, he's going to turn back around here. I guess he sees the Oracle. Better to let that energy burn off. He's going to be able to pop the Cybercore. Now, you can still make Oracles with that, obviously. And Oracles are going to be very handy. Hold on, he's got to be careful. He's going to go for that queen.
He's going to try and snipe this queen. That could be huge if he can pick off all the queens. The Oracles will reign supreme. I was going to say I love the placement of the Adepts in between the shield batteries, but he moves them. They will shade away right now. It looks like all of these pylons going to go down, and the shield batteries as well. How is he going to try and save this base? He's making another Oracle, but then he cancels it. He's remaking his Cybercore frantically right now. 2 more queens on the way, as well as a Spore Crawler at the front. So it's going to be hard to overwhelm the anti-air here, I think. I think this natural might just be going down.
Yeah. And, I mean, right now you're on one base.
Oh, that's at home. Okay.
The core is being remade. But this is also kind of a weird position, right? Zerg doesn't have like I guess they do have an expansion in the sense that there's like that hatchery over here that we're looking at. So like you could mine from that. I think what you probably want to do is try to just keep Protoss on one base and play a really tight game. These games look funny because sometimes the way to play is to not even really try to go too hard into econ as Zerg, but just match them to the point where they're going to run out of minerals. And then it's like, okay, well, at least you have another base somewhere, and you can like send drones there or do something like that.
Right, yeah, Rogue is making drones now. There's 2 Oracles here, starting to target fire down some of these queens. I think this is the big kind of challenge for Rogue now, is how he... Oh, you can't lose this! I was going to say, how are you going to deal with 3 Oracles running around the map if you do try and macro? But actually losing one there and heavily damaging another is huge.
Yeah, he's going to go for Banelings, by the way. The Lings are going to come in, and he's just checking. Wants to see what buildings are warping in. What kind of game am I getting into here?
I feel like I'm back in like Wings of Liberty. It's like a one base 4-gay or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is like right back in the beta. And he's going to go for Glaives. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think he just needs to make whatever he can here. There's so much Zerg here. Going to get the surround on these Adepts. They will all fall. Up come the Queens to deal with these Oracles. Okay, falls back to the shield battery. That Adept will stay alive. Rogue right now, he's on 22 drones, so he is actually out-mining the Protoss, given that he has this other hatchery here. And now he's going to go back into Lings and probably shove this once the creep gets far enough into the Protoss main.
So you want these spine crawlers right here at the ramp, where like the only way that you can attack them is if everything's stuck, kind of bottlenecked on the ramp. Oh, yeah. Never mind. Rogue's like,
go.
Shut up, Tasteless. This is where you want the spines. I didn't think he was going to actually push up in here. Okay, so you can do this too. And I mean, I think he can hit the gateway with at least 2 of those, right?
Yeah, they will be in range. Banelings morph in. These Oracles do manage to pick off 1 queen. There's still 2 and a Spore remaining, though. It's going to be very hard to overwhelm that. And these buildings, if they go down, it's going to hurt MaxPax's production so much. Here come the Banelings, Tasteless.
He's going to come in now. The bangs are going to pop. They're going to go right to where those workers are. I mean, there's just nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
They frantically try and split, but 10 go down instantly. Oh, MaxPax's in so much trouble right now. All his workers going down. Only 9 remaining. The production falls. There's nothing left here. He's fighting till the last breath, but I think the writing's on the wall at this point.
I'm like, no, he's got this. There's still a shot. Don't worry. I mean, that was pretty sick.
That was such a cool build.
See, guys, matchup's fine. We should just do that. Where were those strats the other games? That was sick. Very impressive. MaxPax had a couple fumbles there. Yeah, I think letting him up the ramp like that was a big mistake with the spines. Although, you know, losing the Oracles as well, that's...
Yeah, at that point, the action had kind of died down. That was really the only fight that was happening. So you have to take super, good care of those Oracles in that moment. But like, this is not a new strategy. We've seen spine quarter rushes from a proxy before, but it doesn't happen too often. So I feel like the Protoss often get surprised by it. And then you try and remember the response, right? And do it as fast as you can. But
well, it's like you've got your whole plan for the game and what the meta looks like and everything. And then you see the creep just, right outside your base and you go, okay,
Yeah.
now we've got to deal with this perfectly, and if we don't, we're dead. And he was not able to deal with it perfectly. So that's going to put us at 1-1 as we go into Game 3 here on a Throne of Dunes.
Throne of Dunes, yeah. And I like what you said earlier about Rogue being able to not just play the late game, but be aggressive. And that's exactly what we saw in this game. A scary player at any stage of the game. Will we see something aggressive here going into the deciding match, or will he try and play something more standard?
One of the things that I remember most about all the years I've casted of Rogue was like, this more so than even like, the BlizzCons where he won and everything, was like one GSL, and I can't remember which season because I've done too many, but he played a very specific style the whole way through into the finals, and then played Maru, and then just went like Roach Ravager every game and won, and he wasn't doing that the whole tournament. And it was just like, he just completely shifted gears, and I'm like, man, he kind of can do everything here. So yeah, I mean, he's a very, very capable player. It's less about what I think the meta in the game is for Rogue and whether or not he can perform, because he's basically playing on whatever kind of position Zerg has to play from. He's very good at that.
Yeah, this game we do see Rogue's able to get his natural hatchery down in the proper location, not forced to go to the third base. That's always nice as a Zerg player. And yeah, back home, MaxPax is going to be teching up here, throwing down his core shortly. This pro will be very happy to see a hatchery and a pool at home in Rogue's base this game. Knows it's going to be at least a little bit more of a normal opening here. Just your standard hatch gas pool. And yeah, he will be taking his Nexus shortly.
And what kind of game is it going to be? I mean, it's been pretty short, pretty action-packed. No late game just yet here. I think this is honestly probably one of the tougher groups Rogue has been in his career, and that's saying a lot because most of the time, in his history, he's been like the favorite or one of the favorites, right? But I think right now, the players that are here are really strong. Even Bunny. Bunny's like really scary nowadays. Yeah. Very active. Where, if you interviewed me, or if I casted this, during like the COVID era or before that, I would have, defaulted to Rogue always, being the favorite here. But, times change. It's a beautiful thing. It's like everybody's competing and everybody's improving. And that's how you get these games that are so crazy and dynamic. So, obviously in this game, Rogue would love to pull out a win here against MaxPax.
Definitely. And this is one of the new maps, right, that we have in this season. So I'm curious if there's any kind of map-specific strategies we may see here. I feel like MaxPax kind of just wants to do the same thing every game. He wants to open Oracles, he wants to go into Blink Stalkers, and then maybe from that point we'll see some deviation. But in the early game, he kind of has his game plan, what he thinks is the best way to go in the matchup. And he's an optimizer, right? He will take a build and just grind it and grind it and grind it until it's so optimized that it doesn't matter if you know it's coming.
So we've got two Lings coming up here to do a little bit of scouting. And, there's nothing to defend here, so you got to micro this pretty precisely, but he does that. Even interrupting mining time is a pretty big deal. When you have builds out this early, you don't really want to have the probes ever stop for anything. So the Stalker's finally back. He's going to chase this up here. You see the Oracle being produced up here, which, again, doesn't really signal any type of build other than clearly it's going to be Stargate with some kind of tech behind it.
Yeah, I like that you snuck the Lings around the Adept, so they didn't get picked off. You get to see that it's a Stalker and a Stargate without having to send your Overlord in or anything like that.
Yeah.
Without the Stalker, killing that, which is always nice. As it is one Adept, you're not going to shade into a mineral line. You need two of them to one-shot a drone, obviously. It's going to be a nice early third base here for the Protoss MaxPax. He'll secure this with his Oracles, and then we'll probably see his tech coming up shortly after the second gate. Normally he goes into Blink, that kind of thing. Spore Caller's coming down as well on the side of Rogue, so he will be able to, defend himself from the Oracles. And I feel like if Rogue doesn't take the damage that we saw in Game 1, I feel like we'll see a really strong mid-game from him, and it could look really different.
So we've got, excuse me, the Oracle is going to get in here. I was about to say it's probably not likely he's going to get much done with one. It's pretty hard to get drone kills with one Oracle, but he just did it.
Yeah, he just got 3.
Yeah, and I think probably forced a Spore before it needed to be made over there. In that moment, the second Oracle can now pair up with this, but I guess he's going to tag it in. It's like WWE over here. Out of the ring with this. Yeah, that's right. Out of the ring with this Oracle and into the ring with this one. in what's looking to be pretty healthy. And Max Pack's going to be the one. Oh, my God. It's the Terracotta Warriors down there. I didn't know those were there on that map.
Look at those guys hanging out.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So we got Glaives coming up here.
Yeah,
so
wow.
It's actually, even though both of these games were very explosive and all about Protoss defending, Protoss this time around is going to go wind up for a sharp mid-game attack.
Yeah, going to go into the Glaives instead of Blink this game. I like it, mixing it up. We did see the Rogue went for the +1 melee in game one, so this could deal well into that. Still trying to get a couple more drone kills. And I think the first Oracle kind of caught Rogue by surprise a bit. Normally they wait for 2 before they go in. And he did lose a couple there. Forge coming down as well. We'll have that +1 on the way. And now the game is all about, can Rogue read this attack that will be coming shortly? The Lings spotting in. They do see a couple of Adepts there. Really want to see the next warp in of Protoss. Like if you see a few Adepts warp in now, like if you were seeing these Adepts,
Hello, everybody. What is up? We are back here at the RSL. I'm Tasteless. Joined with me, Gemini.
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. Very excited to
Yes.
get into the lower bracket of the playoffs today. A couple of banger matches awaiting us here before we get into the winners tomorrow. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what we have coming out tomorrow, or today.
Yeah,
And
tomorrow, you know.
And next week.
Yesterday wasn't bad either. Everything's going great. Yeah, so here's our brackets. We are through the phase of the tournament where we had the groups. As you can see, it is Maro and Bjorn and Max Pax and Trigger up here in the uppers. We're now in the phase of the tournament where we're going to be eliminating players here today. So it's going to be Zoun, Cure, and then Hero Rogue.
Yeah, the first match going to be really, really nice. Honestly, I'm actually most looking forward to Hero Rogue. I think that's going to be very interesting. Honestly, kind of crazy that all these players are in the lower bracket and are going to be at threat of elimination today. I mean, it feels like these players all could be in like the top 4 of our event. Like, it's actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, and things are going to be moving pretty quickly here. As you guys can see, this is the schedule. So next week, we actually have a 3-day broadcast. With, I think, Saturday is the shortest day, right? So Saturday is going to be a little bit shorter. I think we might even try to restructure this again in season 5 here as we move forward. But it's going to be a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday broadcast here for the RSL with an early start on Sunday. We're going to have a lot of matches there, so you don't want to miss it. And this is just season 4, I should say, of the, we have 2 more seasons basically to come is what I'm trying to get at.
Yep. Also, big thanks over to Archon Studio. As always, the pre-orders are live for their new released product, which is the beautiful StarCraft tabletop miniature set. We got the Terran and Zerg box here. It looks very nice. It's very large and in charge, as they do say. So,
no, you got it. That was perfect. You're really good at this.
Thank you very much.
These guys are the premier tabletop miniatures makers in the world, and this is an incredible first. Actually, it was the second thing they sent us over here. Really heavy, a lot of stuff in here. You want to check it out. They've been supporting us here at the RSL. And we really appreciate it. They've been sticking with us, so we're just so grateful to have them down here. These miniatures look sick, and there's a lot more coming out for them, too. And I would just go to their website and check out all their stuff. They've got a ton of great products. Guys, go to the Patreon, sign up, pick a tier that you can support. You're supporting StarCraft 2 in these long-form tournaments, which I always liked. I always thought that was something special about the Korean esports scene, was that they kind of had almost like a drama unfolding. You had a time, a couple days a week that you could tune in while it's going on and follow the action here. And that's what we're trying to make here at the RSL. So consider signing up. If you're not in a position financially to sign up, you can join still, and we'll email you.
Yeah, you can get just little updates and whatnot. And you can also check out tastelessthreads.com for some of your swag and merch and all that good stuff. Got RSL t-shirts, sweaters, sweatshirts. We got the amazing Tastosis face image shirt, which is so good.
Photorealistic picture right there. Yes, that is actually just a photograph of Artosis and me that we put on a shirt, and it's selling like hotcakes. Yeah, consider going there, though, tastelessthreads.com. Guys, we need to grow the YouTube. Like the video, leave a comment, turn on the bell. What do they say?
Smash the
like button.
Yeah.
Destroy it.
Destroy your mouse while you're doing it.
Click it so hard. We need to grow this YouTube and get this out to as many people as possible. So consider doing that.
We've also got a raffle going off for our 2025 finals, our season finals poster that we had made. This was sent out to all the Immortal Plus people from last year, but we're doing some extras. This is look how big this thing is. I actually didn't realize how large.
It's massive.
Oh no, your Gumiho in the Pro from years ago.
Crushed under the poster. Took us a little bit longer than we thought to get these posters out here, but they're here now. Everybody who is an Immortal tier gets these.
But then there's also a raffle for 10 more, which we will be doing, and that's open to anyone that's on the Patreon. So any paid member on Patreon up until April 12th has a chance to be able to win one of these, and we are all going to sign it as well. We didn't get to sign them just yet. We will be doing that very soon. But yes, if you want our cool signatures on
this is going to look great on your wall, right next to your Hulk Hogan poster and all your other Ninja Turtles, all the... right by Britney Spears, right up there on the wall. So you need that. We have it framed here. I'm going to try to carefully put this back over here.
Don't destroy our set, Dazeless.
That's kind of on in the shot. All right, whatever. Consider signing up for an Immortal tier if not. It comes with more than just that, by the way, the Immortal tier. There's a lot of other perks there. Yeah. So we're going to have another one of these coming out next year. It was funny. We had so many different things we had to do. That was the last thing on the list. We had to build the studio. Okay, now we got to rent a venue. We got to get all these equipment. Now we know how to make posters too. We've kind of done everything.
We really are broadening our scopes at this
If we were Boy Scouts, how many more merit badges could we get? I mean, there's eventually an end to it, right? Someone has all the merit badges.
What do we have to do? We have to help someone across the street eventually out here?
That's right. I've got my underwater basket weaving merit badge. I've got everything you could need. So we're finally ready to go into our match here. This is going to be Zoun versus Cure. Remember that the loser is out of the RSL. And not much RSL left to be had, by the way.
We got a couple more seasons this year, but obviously you don't want to lose out in the beginning of the playoffs, basically. Both these players have gone extremely far in seasons past, and so they want to be able to replicate that success. So a loss here would be pretty disappointing for both of them, I think. They're definitely coming into this wanting to go farther, and they're very hungry for more.
Yeah, we're going to be at 10,000 feet.
It's a lot of feet, man.
It's a lot of feet. How many meters? I wouldn't know. There's two Americans casting this right now.
We need Steve on the desk over here.
We need anybody who's not in North America to tell us how much of a distance that actually is. No, but seriously, this is going to be a great match. Zoun has looked very strong, but Cure, man, he is an extremely deadly player, especially in the last, we're in year 2 now of RSL, but in all the RSL matches, he's looked crazy. All right, guys, so we've got Cure here in the bottom right and Zoun in the top left.
Yeah, 10,000 feet, like you mentioned, the first map. Pretty overall standard map, which a lot of these players have been favoring in a lot of these series. It's basically been in, I think, every single series that we've casted, actually, at this season. It's not getting vetoed at all, so very, very common to see this one. We'll see how exactly the players want to go about it. Of course, it's a very interesting map with how that forward, kind of pocket base is, the 3rd/4th base. It makes it very interesting towards the late game as well, because it's easy to attack that over the little, ravine or whatever over there. But it looks like Cure is going to be starting off with a kind of fake proxy barracks over on the bottom left-hand side of the base. Yes, indeed. But it's not going to be any super crazy committed stuff, I believe. He is going double gas with it, which is actually kind of interesting. So he might still follow this up with a factory at home before expanding. But it's likely just going to be a Reaper or two coming out of that barracks.
Yeah. And, we should point out, we're going to see how the matchup has changed over time here. For me, for this year, RSL is the first StarCraft 2 tournament I'm getting to cast, right? By the way, GSL starting next week as well, guys. It's going to be a lot of StarCraft 2 action coming your way. But, in the last year, we saw that there was kind of some fundamental problems in the matchup, in that it just seemed like Terran had to kill Protoss before Protoss got too big. If Protoss was able to kind of just sit back, it was hard to deal with them, right? Mm-hmm. Because eventually they have so much splash damage, they can obliterate everything. They're kind of hard to attack into, especially with how fluid and smooth StarCraft 2 groups move at. The splash damage is just so powerful. Now, Blizzard has patched the game, and the storms now last longer. They kind of linger on the screen, so they don't do as much instant damage, but they're almost like a kind of a zoning mechanism, so to speak.
Yeah, and now it's to the point where if Terran is able to get to a pretty late game scenario, if they get a whole bunch of ghosts, they get all their Vikings and Liberators and stuff like that, it can actually be very difficult for the Protoss even to bust the Terran if they're being very good with their defenses. And so you see Protoss players just taking like 5, 6, 7 bases, trying to get a huge amount of economy. So a bit of a switch up, but overall, we have actually a very interesting style coming out from Zoun as he's proxying a very late Stargate. This is not an early proxy by any means. You can see Warpgate in the first Adept. The second Adept even is about to finish here. So this wasn't fast by any means, so the timing of it is going to be very awkward, and he's hoping to catch Cure off guard by this very strangely timed proxy Oracle.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Does he send one or does he wait for 2?
That's a great question. Because you could wait a long time with this.
No, there's something about waiting for the 2 because you one-shot workers so fast.
With 3. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, 3. Yeah.
But still, I mean, we saw Hero do that even last season, I think, last year, when he did actually wait for all 3 for the one-shot, and it was extremely effective. So he might be trying to go for that here, as he's just kind of killing off this Reaper, trying to get it away so it can't scout anything. If he denies the scout, that would be massive, because he wouldn't actually see anything, but that's a big tell in and of itself, because you don't see any tech back behind the mineral line there. You could also have had a pilot on the bottom left, like Mapu's mentioning, so lots of unscouted spots there for Cure, so he can't actually understand that there's going to be a Stargate coming out right now. He does not have that information, so good denial from Zoun.
So this is going to come in pretty quickly here. You know, honestly, the angle's not great because, you can see the barracks immediately sees it. And the Marines can kind of zone it. This is actually pretty bad. Wow, it's not even going to engage with SCVs at all.
Yeah, that's a bit of a missed opportunity there for Zoun, of course. It's a bit unlucky that the barracks and the CC were being made on that bottom lower left-hand side of the base, so unfortunately didn't really get a big jump on anything, and also realizes that there's the stasis war there, so we'll just send the 1 Marine trying to get it so it gets stuck outside of the landing zone. Does he actually get that? It looks like...
Yeah, you got it.
He got it. Very nice. So won't have to wait any longer with that CC, so it's very nice. And the Oracle is still unable to do anything. And actually, the mines on the high ground will be able to get some damage. Now talk about... That's so funny, because that's the spot that Cure had his buildings. He had that totally scouted out. Zoun didn't, and he's getting punished for it. Yeah,
that was crazy. I mean, 8 probe kills is unheard of.
You don't get that anymore.
You don't get that. That, like, never happens. That was something Protoss's, Terrans were complaining about a lot for a while until it's like, well, you just have to get good.
Yeah.
You're just never allowed to let it happen. You have to have your screen in the right place at the right time. But the fact that he got away with it is huge. Could he get any more, possibly?
Yeah, it's going to be hard, of course. The Stalkers and the Phoenix are on pursuit, so likely the medevac will get picked off and won't be able to get any much more damage, although he might still be able to drop them and actually keep it alive. That would be crazy if he could, but of course, Phoenix is quite fast. We'll be able to at least kill the medevac. So nicely done by Zoun, but still, like you said, 8 probes. You really never see that type of damage from a Widowmine drop these days, so great from Cure to be able to find that little avenue in the back of the base there.
Yeah. The Widowmines, I mean, they're still here for a little bit. So, look, even though he's going to kill them off, I mean, forcing the energy on the Oracles, and that's pretty good. So I really like what I see there. Widowmines are going to be cleaned up, and we have the Forge starting now here for Protoss. This is as Stim is going to be wrapping up, although I don't know that Cure is going to be attacking out right now. Biggest thing that's happened in this game were those 8 probe kills early on. I mean, that's really unheard of. I'm curious to see how strong the Terran push is going to be off of that, because that's just such a crazy number of workers to kill and get away with.
Yeah, and it's not even like Zoun is going to have the most insane army behind this either, because he went for so much from the Stargate that he's obviously had to delay the rest of his tech as well. His blink is going to be pretty late. His charge is only just now starting. He's not going to have a robo for fast Colossus. His Templar Archives is only now starting as the Terran push is starting to make its way across the map. Nice save by Cure to keep that medevac alive. That's actually very crucial since he doesn't have too many himself. But this army from Cure has the threat to just kind of punch right through Zoun if he can't get enough units out quick enough.
Yeah, he's going to try to come up there and snipe that Marauder. But yeah, this is going to hit real hard. He has powered up quite a bit. He's going to come in again, and, you know, It's really hard for the. I mean, it's worth trying, obviously, but it's pretty hard for the Stalkers to ever pick off that much. Like, it's a risky play. If you mess up your control there, you're going to lose. He has gotten the tagging cycle up here, so the Oracles can just keep tagging the army over and over and basically tracking the movement. But this may be a little bit less about, like, knowledge of the attack itself and more about, like, have you actually macroed out enough? There's one Archon over here, and it's getting targeted immediately. It is killed off. 2 Widow Mines go down. And I don't know, man. This is looking pretty scary. There's a decent amount of sustain here with these medevacs. He's going to tag it again. Very close here in the middle. The blinks are going to wear off, and you can see the Stalkers are becoming pretty squishy. And, I mean, did Cure just win this game? I think he might have.
Yeah, this is really rough. He hit right before charge even finished, so those charge slots that those zealots he had didn't even have charge, so they were just walking into the Widow Mines. Luckily, a couple of Widow Mine shots will get a little bit of friendly fire on some of the bio, but I mean, you're left with so few units as Zoun. There's a couple Stalkers and Zealots just frantically getting warped in to be able to defend against this, whereas Cure is just streamlining everything across the map. Takes a nice, swift first game in the series.
Beautifully done. Yeah, I mean, that all comes down to that Widow Mine drop. It's interesting, you were pointing this out as well, that Cure had that spot scouted.
Yeah.
Like, he had buildings there. He, like, clearly has had a game already where he's lost a bunch of stuff because of that high ground position. But Zoun did not. Even when I was watching, I'm like, did Zoun even know that he lost those workers at that moment? Like, he didn't even see, like, his face and reacted the moment that it had hit. Anyways, Cure's going to take game 1, and we're going to continue on here.
That's definitely a one-and-done type of game. We're not going to see anything like that for the rest of the series. I would actually be blown away if Zoun tries to go for that again. And I would still be equally blown away if Cure can find 8 more pro kills with a double
No,
drop.
it shouldn't happen again. That's like, I've played this map more than you. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't prepare for that, then you will lose a game. And unfortunately, that was a tournament game. So we're going to go now into map number 2. It's going to be on Old Republic.
Yeah, much more standard map that is a bit more just kind of open and wide out where you can just kind of go wherever you want.
Yeah.
The expansion patterns are pretty easy for both players to take, and generally you see a couple of more longer games on this map particularly, so there's none of those weird kind of spots in your main base that you're not going to have unscouted and stuff like that, so this one should be a little bit more standard, and I think Zoun is going to kind of approach this in a more normal way. Just kind of maybe take that first game and be like, all right, cool, my little trick didn't really work. He was pretty well prepared, and I just kind of messed up a Widow Mine play. That's whatever. Yeah,
I mean, the Proxy Oracle not doing literally anything is disappointing.
It's depressing
it's just
when
like,
you're in that seat, dude.
Yeah.
It feels
the Marines
so
literally
bad.
just go like that, and you're like, okay, and just make a U-turn out of there. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see if we can get a better game here. Cure looking strong, but honestly, if you lose like 8 workers like that, yeah, a push probably will beat you. You just don't quite have enough produced to where, the Marine Marauder stim, I mean, it'll just beat you.
Yeah.
You lose that tug of war.
I mean, the no tech, because you go so heavily into the Stargate and get nothing with it.
Right.
So you have no storm, you have no charge. Having no charge for a push like that is crazy. Like, you never see that situation where you are stuck seconds away from charge finishing, and you're just like, well, okay, like, he's just kiting me into oblivion. What do I even do?
Marine Marauder is so fast, and non-charge Zealots are so slow, so bad.
So bad.
It is hard to watch. We're ready now to go into game number 2 in this best of 5 here.
It's actually Throne of the Dunes as our second map. Nice.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Cool. Another similar map to Old Republic, honestly. So, yeah, kind of likely will play out the same. Although Cure is sending an early SCV across. That could be for a proxy, or it could be for an engineering bay block. We'll see which one he decides to go for. But Cure continuing to kind of keep up with the shenanigans a little bit more this series. Wasn't exactly what I was expecting from him.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't sure what kind of game Cure would show us this time around. This is going to be a proxy Rax all the way over here, but it's only going to be one. He did not send a second SCV out.
Yes. Now we need to take a look at the gas counts as well, because if he's just going for a single gas, it's likely just going to be a Proxy Reaper. But if it could be a double gas, there's
the Marauder.
Still a chance that you can go for like a factory with it too if you want. Proxy Marauder is usually actually also on 1 gas, surprisingly enough.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of, it doesn't really make sense. You'd think it would require a little bit more gas with that, but so Zoun coming into the main base will be seeing this double gas and should be able to tick that off the possibility list. But it could still technically be a proxied factory with this barracks, but again, I feel like that's not something we normally see. Morrow did kind of whip it out actually against Zoun now that I'm thinking about it, and it looks like he might actually do that. Yeah, so going for a Marine, and we'll be going for that factory as well. So Cure is taking a page out of Maru's book, saw how well that worked against Zoun in the series they played in the upper bracket. He's going to see how he can do it in this one.
Very cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is going to work out here. I do like the Proxy Marauder.
It's
rush.
brutal, man.
It's pretty nasty.
If you don't get it scouted, if you don't have the perfect response, then you will just get like flatlined.
If the Marauder hits like one stalker, you're like, oh, I lost. Okay. Oh, the game's over. So the probe's going to come up here and see nothing.
Where's your stuff?
He forgot to make buildings. Wow. It's going to be an easy win for me.
Oh, he doesn't actually get in, I don't think.
That's insane he doesn't get in, by the way.
I'm not sure. Did he go in and then out? Am I Mapu? Okay, he did get in. Okay, never mind. He did go all the way in. That was just the second way.
But he didn't stay inside.
True.
So,
but
yeah, I mean,
getting
obviously
the
you see that.
getting the 2 gas scout is massive in that spot, though.
And so the 1-1-1 just outside of the base. This is going to hit really hard. There are 2 batteries making here, so that's really helpful. This probe, I think, is going to actually find it. We'll see if he changes the... Oh, no, hold on a second. Look, I'm looking at like a constellation here. I'm like, oh, it's the Big Dipper. Okay. He's actually not going to find it. I was wrong, by the way.
That's so funny. I've never even thought of that, but it is so true how much those things look like constellations on star maps. That's so funny.
Yeah.
All right, so he will find the proxy, sees the factory, proxied there as well. A second barracks even getting thrown down on this. That's actually crazy. He's going really committed as Cure. So last time that Zoun played against Maru, he just went for a straight-up 1-base 4-gate and just had one of the gateways proxied and sent all of his stalkers across the map. Did a bunch of SCV damage and then recalled home and still lost. So this time he's got a totally different approach. He's keeping his natural. He's making a bunch of batteries at the front, and he's going to be trying to kite the units as they come across, but still gets a couple more gateways back at home to defend. Where is that medevac going?
What am I even looking at?
He thinks that Zoun is doing what he did against Maru. He thinks he's sending the stalkers across the map, so he's actually preempting that and dropping everything in his main base because he thinks Zoun is going to do the same play.
We know he's not map hacking. That much is clear here.
That's insane, actually.
You know how confusing this is going to be for Zoun right now? Zoun's
yeah,
like,
right?
Any second, he's like, oh my God.
The tank shoots, and he's like, what? Did I miss a scout? Was the factory, like, way in the back? But, like, no, he sees it in the front, so it's like, what? That's so confusing from Zoun's
It's so
POV.
funny, because, like, Cure's like, I'm such a gamer. He's like, no, this is the move. Is you counter their counter. And it's like, no, man. Now 4 gateways are finished back at home. 4 warp gates, are finished back at home. He should just take a base there, man. He should just build a command center.
Yeah, dude, why not?
SCV's there. Yeah, just take
man.
that. Get the natural later.
This is actually crazy. So, I mean, Cure's just going to sit this out, basically. He's going to just try to get a massive army and just make it so hard for Zoun to be able to defend against this. Because, like, if you just slow creep tanks closer and closer this early, it's really hard to actually defend that, especially if, as Zoun, you didn't go for a fast robo response. You're going to be only there with gateway units. No immortals. 4 tanks is kind of ridiculous at this point in the game.
This is pretty crazy. I've never quite cast a game like this. So the stalkers are here. This is like, oh, actually?
Okay, so he's going to get combat shield.
Yeah, that's pretty good. This was intended to hit with combat shields.
Oh, nice. Getting one of those tanks. A second one also going to fall very quickly. That's actually massive to be able to pull off this defense as Zoun, but these batteries are slowly going to lose their energy because the shells from the tanks are still connecting, and honestly, he's just going to be able to kill all the batteries anyway. Production is down for Cure, but also pylon blocked is Zoun, so he can't actually get even any more units in this defense right now.
Yeah, the stalkers are able to pick off anything that's going to be in between these two. They're going to run up. They're going to hit these tanks.
Oh.
Man.
Can we kill any of these tanks?
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe just get them all to 1 HP and then lose the game. How about that?
Oh my God. That was almost a disaster for Zoun, but still was able to kill a few of them, luckily. Still is killing quite a few units that are kind of coming out from those production lines, but I think that Cure should be able to take this lower position, should be able to kill off the Nexus.
If he gets the Nexus, he's okay. There is, this is funny, 1 HP Viking landed here. The thing is, these stalkers are going to be picked off.
Yeah.
This might be one of these funny games where like nobody needs to expand for a little bit. Like Terran's like, oh, it's actually better to just keep making stuff.
Yeah.
And then expand like right before you mine out.
I think this is the play as Cure. Since you're so committed to it, you just kind of force Zoun to have to try to expand again because like, oh, he could easily be expanding behind this as the Terran player, but you're just continuing to all in anyways, and then you just come in with another massive push. So Cure really has no reason to expand at this point, I think, as he's even going to start up Stim. So yeah, he's full committing to this location, knowing that a one-base Terran should still be favored against a one-base Protoss.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just kind of keep powering up. You're going to have so many more tanks. I love just getting the Viking. It's like, just get anything. Does this make attacking units? We'll take whatever it has.
Right.
And yeah, I would just be very thorough about checking the rest of the map to make sure there's no hidden base, because that is, games like this are where hidden bases come up. Oh my god.
I'm having deja vu right now.
Yeah, it's a glitch in the Matrix over here.
So funny.
Well, I mean, denying Stim is pretty massive. I mean, that's basically the most important upgrade Terran can have. I actually think you should just back up and go get Stim again.
Yeah, I feel like you do need to just kill off these units, make sure they're killed off, but he's going to try to go up the ramp anyways. The force field was missed, so that's actually a big mistake from Zoun just to let these units come on up. Only a single medevac will make it hard to heal up a lot of these Marines, and the tanks will get ferried up as well. But now the probes are getting pulled into this. The final stand for Zoun. Can he actually make this defense happen? He's killing a bunch of the tanks as the Immortals get a lot of damage done, but everything is falling and evaporating in front of our eyes. Zoun with nothing left but a few units. That's going to be GG. Cure comes up 2-0.
That was pretty crazy. Really interesting game. It's so... respect to Cure for actually just trying to counter the counter.
Yeah, that was
like,
cool.
That's some pretty high-level stuff, but it was also interesting to see him just like, yeah, send the medevac back for nothing, right? The Stalkers were actually there ready to defend it. I thought Zoun played really well in Game 2 as well.
Yeah, he had the right ideas, like counterattacking, going around with the flank and whatnot, trying to kill off Stim or whatever, tech labs and stuff like that, killing off some of the reinforcements, but he banked really hard on Cure just going with the initial push when there was less units. That's the whole idea with the 4-gate response, is where you get so many units so fast that you expect them to kind of push up to you while they don't actually have enough, and then you overwhelm them, and then you can break the contain that way. But Cure played it slowly, so then he didn't actually have any tech to have, get Immortals out, or maybe sometimes players go for like really fast charge in that scenario. He had none of that. So the longer game for Cure was actually the correct play.
Yeah. Guys, sign up for the Patreon. We have, with your support, we've been able to make this tournament. We've got different tiers, depending on whatever kind of financial support you can give. And this is where StarCraft 2 is at right now. We need community support. The money goes to the prize pool. It goes to the studio that we built here. We just did our first live offline event in December. That was crazy. And it went off without a hitch, by the way.
It was awesome. It was so seamless.
We just got mute buttons for the studio here.
Yeah, watch I can mute myself while I'm talking, and then it comes back in.
Oh my god. I go, oh, I'm feeling racist. Now they don't know what I was going to say. Oh, I'm going to do it again. I'm so racist. That was close. It's the mute button. Okay? That's... I was using it to blow my nose. Could you guys hear me blowing my nose? Was it okay?
I couldn't. And I couldn't hear those racist
you guys
things
didn't hear
just
the
said
toilet
either.
flushing while I was doing play-by-play. It's just a mute button, okay? Yeah. You think we're in church? We're actually on little toilet seats over here, because sometimes these games get really long.
These are the gamer toilet seat, man.
And he was looking at me. I was like, oh, you better do the play-by-play. I was just sitting here sweating. I was like, I'm on my last log, okay? You take care of this. I went, oh, that's good. I went, mute button. I went, and just flushed it down. So, all right, we're getting off topic here. Sign up for the Patreon. It goes to support the show.
Oh, my God.
And we're going to go to a break, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Yes. We'll be right back, guys. We'll see you soon.
backbone back there as well. And the Immortals really have nothing to stand for. The Zealots trying to get on top of some of these units, but there's still Widow Mines, which also are getting unburrowed mid-fight to keep those charges up for when they're going to find their biggest mark. And honestly, Bunny is kind of just walking over this position right now. The Pylon also getting killed off. Clem will tap out GG. A very quick game, Bunny, with a decisive timing.
Well, you were saying Bunny's never being Clem's Protoss. We might be making history here today, Gemini,
We
because
love
that
making
was
history in this tournament, man.
we do all kinds of wild stuff happening. That was very decisive.
Yeah.
Just like a committed 2-base push, going to make it happen. Got the interference matrix. If there are some tech units coming out like the Colossus, in the end, didn't need it.
Could have used it on the Immortals if you wanted to, I guess.
I was thinking, is it worth it to do that or to throw down turrets? But
I think he wasn't sure. I think maybe he was expecting like a Colossus to eventually rally out, and then maybe you can throw it onto that.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just was total Giga Chad mode and just realized that he was like, no, I'm just winning the fight. It doesn't matter. Like, there's no reason I should lose right now. So maybe he just didn't do it. But that's kind of showing the reason why we don't see the double Forge play as much versus Terran. It's quite... You get that big weakness in that kind of a moment where they're just going to go for that big tank push with the tank bio and whatever, and you don't have Colossus, you don't have Fast Storm, and so the gateway unit on the ground is sometimes just not enough. You just don't end up having enough units to be able to defend. And I mean, Bunny just abusing that extremely well, coming up with a very quick game 1 win.
yeah, if it was a 3cc, like a fast 3cc macro kind of build, the double Forge can pay off in the long run. But in these short games, you just have the time and you don't get your tech units out quick enough. And that tank surviving was kind of one of the key moments in that game, I think. Like, if that goes down instantly, if there's enough Stalkers, you know, suddenly the push can look different. But that's how it went. Bunny able to close out game number 1. We move on to... is this Taito? Is that how we're saying this?
I've been saying Taito.
Taito?
In my head. I've never said this word out loud, but in my head.
Taito?
Taito Citadel, yeah.
Taito Citadel.
Yeah.
That's what we'll go with.
Yeah, it's... What were we doing last season with the
Tokamak, dude.
What'd you
Tomahawk.
Tomahawk?
Yeah, don't bring it up.
I was going to say, this is no Tomahawk today, but it is, Taito Citadel.
Yeah.
Some of these map makers, man, we've talked about this before. They really do come up with some wild names so that I don't even know what these words are, where they come from. But
I feel like they get the dictionary out and just scroll, or get the thesaurus out and look for like city or old or ruined.
It's like the pro gamers when they search for their nicknames or whatever. They just open the dictionary, point to something. It's like, yep, that's okay. My whole life is that now.
Yeah. Bunny, for example, that's a very random name, but
yeah, I mean, Trap did that. He literally said that he did that. Like,
really?
I even asked him about it. It's like, how'd you come up with the name Trap? And he literally told me the dictionary thing. Like,
that's so
people
funny.
like always kind of joked about that, and it was maybe true for some extent, but like, yeah, that one is actually that's actually an actual example. It's so funny.
All right, we do see this probe down here being a nuisance. 2 STVs sent to try and damage this as much as possible. Try and get this base down nice and quick. We do see it's a 1 gas open from the Terran. So he does want to get that CC down on the base ASAP.
Yeah, I actually can't remember last game. Did you notice if... Oh, never mind. Sorry. I was looking at the production tab wrong. I thought that was a 3cc. Did you notice...
That would be crazy
That
at
would
this
be
point.
crazy. Did you notice last game if it was a 2-gas opener from Brunny or not? I wasn't paying attention.
We were talking about the map, so
that's fine. Okay.
I kind of glossed over it.
That's no problem. Yeah, I'm curious to see if Bunny will go for any 2-gas this series. Welcome back, everybody, to the first series of the day. So far, Cure is up with a very strong 2-0 start to the series, already on match point. Zoun looking like he's about to get eliminated from Season 4 of the RSL. Hi, Steve. I forgot to introduce you.
I was like, you're just going to end it there. Yeah, no. Yeah, hi, Gemini. I'm doing good. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you.
Yeah, anyways. Like I say, Zoun down 2-0. This is it. Tournament life on the line. He's got to do something. Got to fight back.
Yeah, man, he is. He's down in the dirt. I mean, that was a really unfortunate way to lose some of those games. Like the first game, your proxy just not working, and then you lose to Widow Mines. Second game, you get proxied hardcore with a 1-1-1 that you already lost to in the upper bracket as well. Like, this is not how Zoun wanted the series to start off.
Yeah, indeed. Like you were saying, I think Cure definitely took a look at that Maru series and got some inspiration. And you read a lot online about how tough it is for these other races, but Terran can still get it done in tournaments with preparation with
brother.
these builds.
Preach it. Yeah, man. It is. It's looking pretty good so far for Cure. Wants to close this out nice and soon, I'd imagine. Necropolis will be coming up as our map number 3, so not a map we see as much. One of the Patreon voted maps into the pool, so very excited to see this one. Curious to see if if this will end up being an actual macro game out of Cure, because he doesn't seem like he really wants to play that given that last game. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how the rest of this series actually goes, and if Zoun could actually give up I don't know, he can put up a fight at all.
Yeah, I feel like Zoun's been playing kind of well recently, like especially in the group stage. We saw him take out Reina in that.
Yeah.
It would be a bit sad if he just went out 3-0 now. So I'd like to see him take a map or two at least, make it, this a bit of a contest here, fight back. But Cure looking very strong right now. We'll have to see if he will have the opportunity as we load into map number 3, Cure versus Zoun. As you said, is going to be our voted map, Necropolis, and it is a pretty map.
Oh yeah, I love these textures and just like the colors and everything that they are able to put onto these maps. Avex is actually so good at this. Like all of his maps just look absolutely gorgeous. So big shout out to him. He's actually posting some recent ones on Twitter as well with his new TLMC submissions coming up. So he's got some really gorgeous maps, and Necropolis is absolutely one of those. So nice job, patrons, voting in a nice, very beautiful looking map here.
Our patrons are so smart, dude. They always pick the good maps.
So true, so true. They pick the best maps.
Look at these. Look at the purple things down the ramps. They're so aesthetically pleasing.
I agree. He's got those cool little purple crystals floating right next to them as well. The themes, man.
Neon.
Yeah, dude. I do like it. It's very nice. It's a very, very nice color.
Yeah, indeed. Well, the first thing we can say about this game is that Cure's barracks is in his base.
Yeah.
And that he's going for 1 gas, so not going to be anything crazy at the very beginning of this game. The probe coming over from Zoun will get a scout up the ramp here. Just to double check, there is a building in the base. There it is. He sees it. Probably sighs a sigh of relief.
Just wipes his brows like, God, thank the Lord. Like, God, if I have to play against this 5 games in a row, I'm going to just lose it. So yeah, thankfully we'll be seeing a very normal opener, and Cure even skipping a Reaper, going straight into Marine as well. So we'll actually still be kind of favoring a faster tech option to get his faster factory and stuff. Might still go for some heavy earlier aggression with some Reaper, with some Hellions and maybe like the very fast Widowmine drop still. We'll see what he wants to do with this fast Marine play. But yeah, Zoun is definitely going to be breathing a sigh of relief, like you mentioned, seeing the fact that there is a barracks in the base for the first time in the series.
Yeah, indeed. Cure going to take his CC on the low ground there. The probe delayed it for just a moment. And, ooh, looks like Zoun might be the one feeling a bit cheeky this game. He has gone to the corner of the map, which is a good place to throw down a building. We'll have to see what he wants to go for here, as Warp Gate is on the way, so he's going to get it after Warp Gate.
Yeah, would he actually go for another one of these late proxy Stargates? Because that would be kind of crazy, I feel like. Because the first one just did absolutely nothing, man. Like, it did so little damage, and it put him so far behind. Very fast second gateway coming out. That is extremely abnormal. And the fact that he's also still not even making anything with that probe, he might just be going in for like a rescout later, but it's a very late rescout. I feel like you'd normally go for this much earlier just to confirm that there is the CC and just to kind of get in between the Reaper. So yeah, it will still be a proxied pylon just a bit closer, and he can actually, like Mapu's pointing out, you should be able to warp in across that ledge. So a very cheeky little move coming out from Zoun, maybe studied up on this map a little bit and saw that was a possibility and is bringing it in this game.
Oh, I love these map-specific builds where it's like, yeah, I can warp units into your natural from the third base. This is pretty cool. Like, good luck dealing with this. So I like the build choice here from Zoun. He's getting these extra gateways, as you mentioned. No extra tech just yet. Now we see the Twilight coming down. And yeah, it's looking like Cure's just looking to try a normal Widow drop game here, but not sure if he'll get the chance, as the medevac is now on the way.
Yeah, I really wonder what he's actually going to be warping in is the thing. My first thought was, when I initially thought of the whole idea, is DTs. Because, like, this is such an opportunity just to warp in 2 DTs right in their face. But the Twilight Council was very late, and the fact that he went for the fast second gateway as well doesn't mean that he's probably not going to be going for that. So I'm guessing he's just going to do it with, like, Adepts just to try and get some of those in. But or
they
maybe
have shade. They could just shade up the ramp.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying.
saying. That you could just do that. So it's like, maybe he's not doing that at all. Maybe we're just overanalyzing this, and he's just gonna walk up the ramp like this is 2010. Like, I don't know. Because it really looks like he's doing that right now.
That would have been cool, but it is going to be the warp in on this side. The medevac has left, so he does not have those Widow Mines at home for the defense. And here comes Zoun up the ramp, takes out the bunker. The SCVs immediately evacuate. Some of them will fall. I think he a little bit hesitant if he wants to fight with those SCVs or not. Does hold position at the top of the ramp there. And this CC is taking fire right now.
Dude, this is such a wacky build. Like, he's literally just brute forcing this up into the natural. He's coming on in, trying to kill as many SCVs as he can. It's right when the Widow Mine drop leaves, so that means they won't be home to defend, but it's also meaning he doesn't have anything back at home to defend himself. 11 probes getting killed off, and they both get out in the medevac. But can Cure actually defend against all of these stalkers in his natural?
Those are the dream Widow Mine shots there. Couldn't get any better than that. So many workers falling each side. Is this CC going to go down? He's going to have to push down and try to save it right now. It's already goes down.
That's actually crazy that he gets the snipe off on the CC. He can easily just run away. He doesn't actually need to stay here any longer. The tank shot's definitely going to solidify that fact. That's a great pickoff if you're Zoun. Sure, you just lost a whole bunch of probes back at home to that double Widow Mine drop, but you just killed a bunch yourself and got the CC. You're forcing Cure now into an all-in position. Will he actually continue with that is the question, or is he actually going to try to make another command center?
There's no way, right? You'd just be so far behind. I
know,
mean, he does have the Widow Mine to try and go for another round 2 of killing the probes, but this time, Zoun sees it. Okay, nice retarget there. Does get 2, but it's still not enough. You're against a one-base Terran here.
And Zoun's actually taking a third base. He feels totally confident with his position that he knows he can just take this third base with Blink finishing very soon as well. He'll have charge coming up. Cure is not going to be moving out for quite a while, I feel like. He started stim during that whole attack, and it honestly happened kind of late, so it's going to be a while for him to actually get that out. He's just slowly making sure that he's not getting killed off in any other direction, keeping his tanks in position and whatnot. But it really does look like he's just going to power up for a eventual one base all in, because you'd have to take the CC immediately after it dies. Otherwise, if you're putting this much investment, he also, I think, got another barracks or something. Like, you have to just go all in at this point. So he's basically going to take what happened last game, where he went super all in with the one base proxy, and is just trying to do it off of as a reaction, basically, which I'm not sure how successful it will be.
Yeah, I like the choice to take a third here. If Cure did re-expand, he would still be ahead. So I do like that, and even if he loses some workers to harassment, he can remake those a little bit quicker. This Raven going to drop as many turrets as it can, picking off some more workers, which is nice. We do have Zoun's army in the middle of the map, on the lookout for the push as it comes.
Oh! The move command in the middle of the army is a big mistake from Zoun, as he's going to lose a few stalkers. You actually cannot make these mistakes as Zoun, because he's gone for this fast third base instead of going for all the gateways and the tech much faster. It means his units are quite sparse. He doesn't really have that many. He's going to get a blink up into the main base, trying to delay and try to deny any reinforcements, as that's basically the only thing he can do with those stalkers. But this army from Cure is very large.
Yes, a lot of tanks mixed in there. 4 tanks, a Raven, almost 30 Marines. I mean, that's going to be very hard to deal with. He's going to have to buy some time with force fields, I feel like. You can't let him just run up the ramp here, but that's exactly what's going to happen. The probes just evacuate immediately. He knows he's getting a lot of damage in the Terran base.
Yeah, if he can force Cure into a totally one-base situation, kill off all of the SCVs and kill off some of the reinforcements, he can just kind of leave the natural and just hope that Cure doesn't realize that he took this third base. So he can set up a flank on that side, and he can eventually probe that up later if Cure either runs away, but he's actually scouted. He knows it's there in the first place. So Cure's just going to ignore it and just go into the main base, or attempt to. A nice force field will be able to kill a lot of that off, but the tank splash on the Zealots is equally as damaging.
This is so hard to attack into as Zoun. You have to come from 2 fronts here. That flank is set up near the third base, and the buildings start to fall.
The Templar Archives on the natural is even going to get killed off, so no more Archons is going to come into play here either. So this is going to be very difficult for Zoun.
Yeah, he's making pylons right now. He wants to get as many units warped in as soon as these gateways are off cooldown. Nice, his whole position in, gets anti-armor missile. That's pretty funny. Feels a little bit early. The fight's not quite yet, but Zoun is on the clock here. He has to make something happen soon. And now's the moment. He goes, charges in from the back, going to get on top of these tanks with the Stalkers. Archon Sentry finding the force in the main, and they will get picked up.
That was a massive force field to try and section off a lot of those Marines, and it allowed all the tanks on the left side to get killed off. So Zoun will actually mount a defense against this push, and that will put him in a very good position because he still has that third base. Since Cure decided to ignore it earlier, that means that Zoun now can resaturate it. Sure, he only has 25 probes, but he can just kind of play the long game at this point. He can just eventually get a few more probes out. It's forcing Cure to go mega all in, and now going for the SCV pull as well. If Cure doesn't win with this push, this game is over.
Indeed, but these SCVs make the push a lot stronger. He's going to catch the Terran army on siege in the middle of the map.
Oh, the
Cure tries to
medevac!
pick up, but they're all low.
Oh my
He gets
God.
out on 1 HP there. That could have been game over instantly. Zoun still in a very commanding position in this game, though. And here come the SCVs to try and help out.
That, I can't believe he didn't snipe down that medevac. Unfortunate misfire there, but will still allow Cure in this game to have another chance, but still getting flanked yet again. The charge lots getting on top of everything. The tank unable to siege up, and this is looking worse and worse for Cure as this game goes on. Everything has started to get killed off here, and Zoun is looking like he's much more comfortable.
Yeah, Zoun going to close this one out. It looks like as the last Marines start to fall here, the Archon stays strong, even lives through that engagement, and GG is called. Zoun fights back in game 3. It is 2-1 in favor of Cure, Gemini.
What a weird build. What a weird strategy.
What a weird game.
To do. Yeah, that whole thing was just so unorthodox. Like the way the pylon was positioned really did make it look like he was trying to do something sneaky with that, but he just decided that he was going to do like a 4-gate all in, but
right.
Not really all in, just walk up the ramp. Like the timing of it was so strange. The fact that it happened right when the Widowmine drop did go out, so you can see there was some like thought process with the timing. Of course, you're hitting as the harassment is leaving the base and hasn't quite gotten to your side yet. So he's trying to get that nice little timing right in there when that's happening. And it ended up doing very well, even though he lost so many probes back at home. I mean, if you kill the orbital like that, like
yeah,
surely you should not be finding yourself in a losing position anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think from that point, if you play perfectly, you should never lose, basically.
Yeah.
But you can still make mistakes when there's a bunch of tanks sieged outside your natural, and you have to take that engagement at the same time from both sides. Still tricky to close out. Cure made a good game of it. I think it was the right decision to not re-expand. I think you're just going to be behind forever, especially against the Protoss third. So he did what he could, but eventually losing the orbital was the end of the game, it felt like.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that he didn't realize soon enough that it was actually getting killed off. Wasn't able to get the repair, but regardless, nice decision-making from Zoun. Let's see if he can continue that form into the next game and force us to a game number 5. Let's move on to Missing You Today for our next map.
Here we are, game number 4 between Zoun and Cure. Cure currently in the lead 2-1, spawning in the bottom right, and in Zoun in the top left, our Protoss player here. I like what he did last game, you know, kind of taking the fight to the Terran, saying, you're not the only one who can play aggressive. If you're going to do a cheeky build that tries to catch me unaware, I'm going to have a lot of units, and if you're doing something normal, I'm just going to hit you hard.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and it's really weird to bring that out on a map that has a high ground natural in the first place, so you can't just, you have to go up the ramp.
Yeah.
Like, if they are just sitting there defensively with all their stuff positioned, like, you will just die. Like, you can't really get up a ramp like that.
Oh.
But anyways, enough about that game. We have, yet again, a proxy coming out from Cure, very aggressively positioned as well. So this one will definitely be in Zoun's face very early. So Cure looking back at what was working well earlier in the series and is going to try to replicate that.
Yeah, Cure says, I tried a normal game and I lost, so here we are. We're back to proxying. Is
that Protoss scum playing a normal macro game? Ugh, I hate it.
Yeah, it is going to be the double gas here as well as the Rex. This Pro went down but didn't see what's going on exactly. He obviously sees now there's no Rex in the main. The question is, you don't know what it's going to be. Is it going to be 1-1-1? Is it going to be a Marauder push? You got to find this and get the information. Right now, we do see it's just the one Reaper with the second one on the way as well.
He might actually try to go for a bunker in the natural to try and block. Yep, there he goes. We'll be able to deny the natural with that SCV, so that's very nice. So Zoun is going to have to... he's basically forced to over-respond to what's happening right now because he saw this exact setup in the game a couple games ago, and he ended up getting killed by a 1-1-1, a proxy full-on 1-1-1, whereas Cure this time is not going to go for the full proxy. He's just putting the factory in his main base. So Zoun is kind of respecting the fact that it could be another proxy 1-1-1, but it's just the Reaper and then the bunker. He only gets that information now, and that's going to mean that he's basically forced into one base until he can dislodge this.
Yeah, this is going to slow down the expansion of Zoun by a lot. Even loses one probe as he went for a Zealot first. So hard to catch this Reaper. I mean, you just can't catch this Reaper with a Zealot. So here we do see a Stalker as the follow-up. Cancels the shield battery. I like that. He identifies what this is.
Yeah, you cannot have that finish at this point. It's just a wasted investment as he realizes that this is just going to be the Proxy Reaper. It's not going to be any follow-up all-in with the factory on the other side of the map as well, so needs to try and cut his losses where he can. Won't really be able to get these Reapers, though, and he's going to be forced to make that battery a little bit more forward, so that way he can eventually kill up his bunker. This is a great position so far from Cure, because,
we got a hidden base, Gemini.
Dude, this series.
At the gold.
What the heck is this series, man? Just absolutely off the walls.
What a gamer move. I mean, that is a risk and a half, but the reward is absolutely massive. If it goes unscouted, you are going to be rich beyond your wildest imagination. You can even recall some probes over there from the main. You don't have to waste the travel time distance. And yeah, it looks like Zoun's finally going to try and start to chip away at this bunker, using the shield battery, as you mentioned, to heal up these units as they do so.
Yeah, it's still going to be really annoying because, of course, you got to micro this around, and the Reapers can easily pop on out, bump you around and whatnot, but we'll be able to kill this off eventually. The Marine even coming along to try and help out, which is kind of surprising. I figured he would have just sent everything home at this point, but we'll eventually lose the bunker, of course. Might try to go for the Stalker. It's a bit risky. Yeah, the Reapers are in threat of dying. Nice nades to be able to keep those away. But now Cure needs to find this base. If he doesn't actually locate the fact that Zoun is going for this proxied Nexus at a gold base, this could completely catch him off guard.
Oh, he's going that way. No, he's not. I thought he was just going to make a beeline straight for it, and the game was going to be, turned on his head suddenly. But I mean, that's the only way you can lose right now. He doesn't have a natural. If he takes it after your CC, I think you're okay. You still have these 3 Reapers running around being annoying. One Stalker, not actually enough to deal with these. We'll get into the red hit points, but survive.
Yeah, all right. So what does Zoun actually do at this point? He's going for a couple extra gateways. He's getting Blink. He's going to just try to play this out normal. Is this Cure scouting, or is he actually also going to take a hidden base? Because that would be crazy.
No way.
Does he realize that there's actually a gold base on this map? Because that would be the more likely spot to proxy if you were doing it. So would be great. Yeah, it looks like he is realizing that there's potentially a proxied Nexus somewhere. He's scouting around a lot, but he has not gone for the top right-hand side scout. So that's where he wants to be, of course, to get this information. So for now, it will elude him. Just still playing it very safe. As you can see, he's not really floated his CC down yet. He's just waiting for the orbital to come online. Will eventually get there, but it's going to take a long time before he actually gets the scout. Yeah,
it's almost going to be the last base he will scout on the map. I feel like maybe you could put a Reaper to work. It's a very fast unit, and there's not much you can get done at this point with them. He will see a pylon here. That's a sign that something is amiss. And then the SCV will eventually find the Nexus in the top right. He does see there's a third as well.
These Reapers finding their way into the main base, though. There's nothing here. The Stalkers were sent across the map, so a couple probes will get killed off. 3 Reapers will kill them very quickly, and the single Stalker and Sentry will take quite a while as well. So 6 probes getting killed off. Nice blink over to the side trying to get them, and we'll try to block them off. Oh, with the force field and the probes. That's very nice. One.
He does get it.
And the blink down. No, nice. Excellent. All right, so Zoun will kill that off, but 6 probes dying is not really what you want. The fact that he does have the gold base, though, should be able to alleviate that damage.
Yeah, Cure now has the information that Nexus is in the top right. The question is, will Zoun try and defend it if Cure pushes it, or will he just recall the probes out? Never mind that. Stalkers come in. They do pick off one tank there. Back up now as the rest of them siege. And only just now, after 6 minutes, is the Terran Natural landing.
Yeah, it's very delayed because, of course, Cure wasn't really sure what was going on. He had gone for the factory in base as well after the proxy, and the 3 Reapers is pretty committed as well. Ooh, losing some Stalkers at the front is not great either. It's going to be a very fast Templar response coming out of Zoun, so he's going to try to get either a bunch of those Archons out again, or he's trying to rush out Storm as quickly as possible. He's not gone for the gases at any of his expansions yet, so it's going to be a little hard to fund this for now, as of course he's only got a couple hundred gas in the bank. It's likely going to be thrown down onto the Storm, but then he doesn't really have anything for the Templar, so honestly I feel like you kind of need a couple Archons right now to be able to defend against this push that's about to come across the map.
Oh, and he's bringing the SCVs as well. He's pulled the boys. He's just got to make... Oh, he's going to go for Storm. I think if he sees this army, he would cancel that and make Archons potentially. They will shred the SCVs if they can get some shots on them.
Totally missed this move out. Look at his
Oh,
stalkers.
so unfortunate that just misses the Terran army.
Oh, he's going to just be feeling so bad when this comes across. He's going to see these units. It's like, how did I miss this move out? The SCVs are here as well, like you mentioned. He's going to be forced to evacuate this natural for another time in this series. This will get killed off. He's forced into his main base. So thankfully, again, he does have the gold. So he's still got a lot of income coming from that. Oh, Stalker's just running into the main middle of the army. Thankfully, the tanks were not sieged just yet. But now all this production is also unpowered. Artosis has found us yet again. Unbelievable. Can't believe we managed to fly him out for the season as well. But yeah, we'll be able to kill off a lot of these gateways. No production there, and it's going to supply blocks down.
He does have Storm finally. If he's able to get one of those off, that could be something that changes the game. These Stalkers going to try and pick off reinforcements, but they're actually outgunned here, and we'll lose one of them. They're going to run away, and once again, Zoun finds himself, you know, in a Terran sandwich situation where he has to come from two sides to try and
Never like
break
to be
it.
in that Terran sandwich, man. It's really
Actually,
brutal.
no, the Terran's the one in the sandwich, but
True, yeah.
he's
okay.
also the one winning somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, this is looking really rough. I mean, there's bunkers being made on the high ground of Zoun's own main base. The reinforcements can't even get killed off. Look at how many tanks are on this low ground. This is ridiculous. There's so many of them. Everything just dying slowly from Zoun. He's just trying to get any units that he can. The Nexus dying as well. He's just kind of hoping that this gold base will somehow carry him to some sort of victory. He's got a couple of storms ready to throw down onto the Marines, but can't even find any because I feel like there's more tanks than Marines at this point.
This is Zoun's last game in the tournament. Potentially, he doesn't want to just give up too easy. Going to make a last stand here.
He's blocking himself with his bunkers.
Tanks get in as the other one is siege. Okay, we'll salvage that. The Stalkers try a counterattack, but there's even units at home. Cure calmly lifts the CC there, pushes forward with the tanks one more time. The Storms go down and they're big, but there's so much Terran here remaining. I don't know if Zoun's going to have enough here to hold on.
Yeah, that was just absolutely wonderful for Cure. The big recall over to the gold base with all those probes will be decent, I guess, but I mean, this army that you're looking at right now is basically all Zoun's got. It's just a couple of Zealots and a Stalker, and a single High Templar has found its way somewhere on the map. There it is. We'll be able to eventually throw down a Storm if it doesn't get annihilated by a bunch of tank shots first. So
Wait a minute, is there a world Zoun can do something in this game?
No.
No way, right?
Don't
But, like,
even...
if he catches this army, yeah, I get it. There's still a huge army in the home.
Yeah.
Home. I was just thinking if he like suddenly deletes one army, but no, there's just too much here for Terran. Look at the army supplies, 20 supply ahead. He will catch this one army unsieged though if he decides to go now, but I'm not even sure if he has enough unless the storm is really
Storm's gonna be
big.
good. That is a nice storm, so he will definitely clear all this up. The tanks will die as well. So yeah, like you said, that is nice actually. So that's going to give a moment for Zoun to kind of breathe a little bit of fresh air and realize that, hey, maybe I can actually come back in this game a little bit with this gold base. And actually, let's take a look. I mean, Cure's only on 23 SCVs. He's got 2 CC, so the mules, of course, will be very good.
He's going to go for ghosts here. I like that. He will need those to deal with the High Templar eventually. I'm curious, what is the income right now? Because we have a gold base versus, you know, basically 1.5 bases for the Terran.
He's going to take the second gold. That's
He's
so
going to take
sick.
the next gold.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
1 gold wasn't enough. Sound takes
right.
another. This is getting a bit wild
Hold
here.
up. Wait a second. Yeah, wait. Okay, there might actually be something to go here. I don't
No.
want you. Don't
No.
do. Sound. No, do not do this. Bad boy, go back. Go. Stop. Get out of this natural. Never attack into a natural of a Terran player. You don't need to go into a 2-base Terran. He's got the second gold base coming up. That's his chance here, I think, because Cure, since he did suicide a lot of those SCVs, he did lose a lot of those tanks. There is this moment that Cure does need to recoup. He actually does need to kind of sit back. He didn't have a starport this whole time, I think, so he didn't actually have any chance to make any medevacs. So he's really going to be forced to just wait. And this gives Zoun the opportunity to remake some of his production, re-get some of his economy going.
Yeah, the problem is
there's a chance.
his
There's a
tech's
chance.
so far behind, though, just now remaking his Twilight. You know, he'll have to go for the Templar Archives again afterwards if he wants to go into more storms. Gonna catch the probe here potentially. No, just... Okay, does see it. So we'll prevent any more expansions here. And I think once Cure finds out about this base,
so
he's
brutal.
gonna full send it at some point.
Yeah, I feel like you do have to start to walk across the map once these two ghosts come out. I think this is going to be very difficult for Zoun now because, of course, like you said, he does still need to get that Templar Archives going. He needs to wait for more Templar to get energy. So, yeah, this is still going to be an uphill struggle for Zoun. If he can get another miracle engagement, maybe this actually works out. But, yeah, now that the ghosts are coming out, now that we're going to have some medevacs as well, this is looking definitely better and better for Cure.
Yeah, the ghosts are such an insane power spike. You can nullify all the High Templar, do tons of... He's just going to take one down there. Zoun is a madman, taking bases in all corners of the map this game. One Zealot chasing a Marine there. And I think once Concussive finishes, he's got a good ghost count. Cure's going to have a very strong push here. And it's actually not far at all to get to that gold base.
Yeah, it's pretty close, so you don't actually have to walk too far. This is so many ghosts. This is going to be so hard. I can't even imagine. Oh, he's actually floating the main down. Okay, that's actually nice. So he will just continue to make sure that he doesn't just die from any sort of all-in. I thought those SCVs were actually going for another attack, but no, they're just transferring over to this third base. Cloak actually... Oh, this is so smart. Cure realizing that there's no chance in hell that
these EMPs.
Oh my god. Why would you have a Robo? Why would you have a Robo? Why would you have Observers? He's just hunting the Templar or just hunting the probes because two ghosts do one shot. So you can just walk over and just kill their economy for free because you literally will not be able to scout this. You can't see the units.
It's the Terran DTs. Yeah. Two of them run in and make the whole mineral line evacuate. I thought he was just going to blank EMP the army or something, but obviously he wasn't pushing at that time. Here comes Zoun, though. The Zealots do march in, kind of not together, and the High Templar at the back gets shelled, EMP'd. It just doesn't feel like Zoun has the juice, and Cure will take game number 4, excuse me. And what a wild game it was.
Yeah, that is definitely a series you will not be seeing again anytime soon.
Yeah.
That was just full of everything. Proxy bases, proxy all-ins, just absolutely everything. So really nicely navigated by Cure overall. I think he really found the weaknesses that Zoun was kind of showing in that last series that he played against Maru as well. Was able to kind of bring some of that back and really punish Zoun. And Zoun really just couldn't get on his feet in this game, or in this series at all. It felt like he was always trying to grasp for certain things, but Cure was just one step ahead every single time.
Hidden gold bases is just like our ladder games, chat.
You can relate to these games, I think.
I can relate so much, except I wouldn't play Protoss.
Well,
yeah, but
chat, I think, can relate to some of this.
Yeah, for sure. But very well played to Cure. He will move on 3-1 today. He moves on to the next round, where he will face the loser of...
One of those, I
never
know how this works. I never remember. Ziggy's trying to tell us something, and maybe
we think is the loser of Maru Beyond.
Yeah,
We will find out, guys.
I always do they switch? Do they go to the opposites? I never know how this works. So I always just look at Liquipedia. I never can do this myself. But anyways, they'll be playing someone from the upper bracket eventually. But our next match, of course, is going to be Hero versus Rogue, which will be absolutely wonderful. I am so excited for that. Yeah, man.
Pure
I cannot
cinema.
wait.
Cannot wait for that series.
Yes, and we also have a wonderful raffle for anyone that is on the Patreon. We've had this awesome thing be made, which is a poster, which is now getting brought over to Steve and Sturgeon. It's massive, actually. It's very large. Make sure this thing doesn't block it when you're got it on camera. But if you are a paid Patreon anytime between now and April 12th, you can get this sick poster that was made to commemorate the 2025 offline finals last year, which was super cool. We're going to have all of this signed by us as well, so you can get our autographs, which is also really cool. I know I want Sturgeon's autograph really badly, so I can't wait to see that. But yeah, go ahead and sign up to the Patreon if you're not already. You can get this awesome poster. 10 of you will be selected to be able to get that. So yeah, could be cool.
This is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks so well done.
It looks so well done.
It's huge.
Look at Zoun. He's dropping the bicep.
He does not look like that right now. Let's just be let's just make that clear. So that was made at a different time, but yeah, he is definitely feeling the hurt right now.
A happier time.
Yeah, when Protoss was still doing well. But
and there's Raynor on there as well, dude.
Yeah. It's
Awesome.
the top 4 from the offline finals. So yeah, if you are a Patreon sometime before April 12th, then you are having a chance to win this. The 10 of them will be sent out. If you are an immortal from last year at any point in time, you will just get one of these. That was part of your perk, which was, again, they'll also be signed as well. So A couple of you we still need some shipping information from, so we've kind of slid into your DMs a little bit there. So please respond to us. We want to know where you live, so we can give this.
any links that Gemini sends you. Okay.
It's just going to be a link to this thing, maybe. There's
Oh,
no
is it an
links.
actual link?
No,
There's
we don't.
no links,
We don't
right?
send links. Yeah, no, don't worry.
Yeah.
We will not
Don't click links, guys.
We will not ask for your password information. We just want to know where you live, so we can send this thing to you. So yeah, just look at that. Anyways, apparently, I think we're just waiting to go on break. Yeah, okay, great. we'll see you soon. It's going to be Rogue and Hero coming up next after this break. We'll see you soon.
Hey guys, last week we finally got around to unboxing the Zeratul miniature from Arkane Studio, from the StarCraft Tabletop Miniatures game that is now live for pre-orders, and I think it's time for us to try and put it together. What's inside the box is this plastic sprue containing all the parts that you need to assemble. We've got the pamphlet that contains all of the instructions guiding you through the process, and we've got our trusty tools. We've got a little cutter to get the parts out of the sprue, a hobby knife to clean up any casting lines, and of course we've got glue. So, let's take a look at what it takes to put together this Zeratul miniature. We're going to open up our trusty little pamphlet, and as you can see on the close-up, very hopefully, this entire process comprises 12 steps. So, let's try and go through this process together. Arkane Studio really make it easy with the instructions included in the box. If you're a newcomer, this really is a great starting point for getting into tabletop miniatures games. What really makes tabletop miniatures games special is the fact that you can really make them your own. They don't have to look exactly as they are on the box set. If you want your Marines to be wearing orange armor, go ahead. I gotta tell you a story on a personal note. Before I got into StarCraft, I was actually big into miniature games. I used to go down to my local wargaming store and I would buy them and put them together and paint them and play with them and go to tournaments. And at my local gaming store, I actually had a group of friends. One day they asked me if I wanted to play StarCraft with them. And that's when my journey with StarCraft really started, when I was a kid. So after all these years, actually getting to put a StarCraft miniature together, it really hits different. Boom. I think that's it. I think that works. Guys, the very first StarCraft Tabletop Miniatures game figurine that we got sent by Arkane Studio is now assembled, and you can get your hands on one of these very soon. If you go to starcraft-tmg.com, you can check out the pre-orders that are live for the StarCraft Tabletop Miniatures game and get your own.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to go into the next match here. It's going to be Rogue versus Cure.
Rogue versus Hero.
Rogue versus Hero.
Yeah.
I was testing you all done.
I passed
I literally,
the test.
2 seconds before we went live, I said, who is it? And I just
already
repeated
a
back to you
disaster.
wrong. What is going on? Yeah, Rogue versus Hero. We just saw Cure advance.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, we got it. We got there in the end. So, yeah, Rogue
Man.
versus Hero. This is going to be a great series, Texas. I'm very excited for this. Rogue, the only Zerg remaining in the tournament. He's got to win, man. But Hero's like in very good form. Obviously won the offline finals last year. He's just winning a lot of stuff right now. It's going to be really tough.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes. But, Zergs have been struggling a little bit here. So, I'm always kind of ambivalent on who advances, right? I always like to maybe root a little bit for the underdog, but other than that, I don't care. But when there's like an entire race that's going to be wiped out in a tournament, then I really start to root for that one to do well. Look, I think if anybody could do it, it would be Rogue. The question's going to be, can he do it against Hero? Because Hero's extremely strong. Winning the offline finals that we had in December, so not long ago, in great shape. And Rogue, it still feels like it's pretty fresh that he's back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it feels like he's hit a form, like a kind of new peak with his form recently.
Yeah.
Maybe not as good as his best ever peak when he was winning world championships and that kind of thing, but he's looking very, very good. He's looking like he's back. Hero, however, is basically the best Protoss in the world, perhaps. He's definitely up there, has an argument to be made right now, and Classic's out, so this is probably one of the hardest Protoss matchups you can get as a Zerg. But I think Rogue might be up for the challenge. I think we'll have some good games. His series versus Trigger was very competitive and close. We'll have to see how things unfold as we load into our first map, Missing You Today.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun match here. I'm curious how Rogue is going to approach this. Protoss looking very strong as of late. But, Rogue he's almost like a fourth race, with how he plays the game. He's always got such a solid approach. So I want to see what exactly we got here.
Yeah, and he like you say, he has his own take on the meta, right? He doesn't just follow what everyone else is doing. He'll come up with his own style, with his own timings, with his own unit comps, that kind of thing. We've seen him go for a lot of aggressive builds recently against Protoss. We saw a Roach Ravager all in against Trigger. We saw a Ling Bane attack in his former series. I forgot who he was against, but he's definitely not afraid to mix it up with going for these timings and then also just trying to play late game lurkers, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like in this game, we've got Protoss now going for an expand after teching up here. And, Rogue, I guess the question will be, how does he feel about a Protoss being passive, right? Because that seems to be where some of the problems have come in the matchup, is that it's really hard against a very passive Protoss, especially if they slow tech into air later on and get carriers. They just sort of end up with this unstoppable death ball. And, a lot of times when you see an issue like that arise in a matchup, the answer sometimes is, well, you don't let him get that far. You have to treat it. And there's a lot of matchups in StarCraft 2 and StarCraft 1 as well, where it's like one side is going to get too big to fail here if you don't do something about this, right? And so the idea is, how do you get in there? How do you end the game quicker? Is there some kind of a timing attack? Is there, some moment when they've just ballooned out enough on the map that you can like send a Nidus in there and then drop somewhere else and then, have two different attacks at the two bases on the front? Stuff like that might be what Rogue goes for.
Yeah, that's kind of what he did against MaxPax when he went for air in the late game. He went for that Ultra Corruptor army, and then he ran those Ultras all around the map, made it very difficult to catch them, and actually won the base race. In this game, we see Hero is going for the Stargate. He's got his wall not at the natural. He's made his initial buildings at the top of the ramp there. This Zergling going to try and do a full scout, check there's nothing crazy going on, no pylons in the corner of the map or anything like that. As he goes ahead and gets his third base, and we see it's going to be a Void Ray first here.
Yeah, Void Ray is very passive. You usually use this to clear out the Overlords, and then basically it kills off anything that could have attacked the expansion. I mean, it's not great versus Lings, but it's enough, especially if you have like two Adepts like we oftentimes see kind of parked in between the pylon and the Nexus at the third base. So I don't think a whole lot's going to happen early on in this game. It looks like both sides are basically focused on development.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the tech of choice is behind this for Hero here. Obviously, when you have a Void Ray, you kill the Overlord. You can often hide your tech from the Zerg. It's hard to get units in and get that information. We see two Adepts out right now. should short. Well, we'll have to see if are they going to go across the map or just go to the third and defend it. Hero actually playing a little bit passive here in this early game, I feel like. Just going to send the Adepts down here to his third base. Hasn't sent any across the map or anything crazy like that. And just looking to macro up here.
Yeah, here's the Overlord clearing I was talking about. And, you know, one of the challenges for... yeah, I think he was not expecting that those queens to be that far out. One of the challenges that you have from the Zerg's perspective here is you really... Well, I guess it's different here with this lane getting here, but, you know, besides that, you don't know what's going on.
Yes.
Right? I mean, I've seen games where they get a one Stargate and then they even get a second Stargate and tech, like, directly into air. Like, just cut all the corners, go from A, skip the rest of the alphabet and get to Z right away. Or you can go for, like, a gateway timed attack, right? Or you could, you know, just tack up slowly. So, you know, you just don't know what kind of game you're in for yet, which keeps the Zerg guessing.
Yeah, it's actually insane. He didn't kill the Overlord of the natural. So that one sees the
that's
Twilight.
Crazy.
I can't believe he didn't clear this
Dude,
on the way out of his base.
I'm glad you pointed that out, Sturgeon. I just assumed that all the Overlords are dead because he killed off one of them that was, like, further out.
Yeah.
That's insane.
So he sees the Twilight, he sees us upgrading, he sees the timing on the gateways.
So everything I said was wrong because, like, yeah, you look at this, you go, oh, it's Blink.
That should be the case,
yeah,
right?
right, yeah. It's supposed to be that he doesn't know what's happening here. The Oracles are going to come in here. They zap down 3 drones and get out.
Nice little pick off there. Finally comes back, does take care of this Overlord in the end. But I think it's done his job at this point. It's seen some crucial tech here. He is going for the fastish Evo into +1 melee build that we've seen him enjoy recently, followed up by the slightly later layer. And Hero has a Forge finishing up right now. I love these gateways at the top of the ramps here. It's going to make it very difficult, especially with the pylon. That's going to be a full wall there. It's going to be difficult to do any run-bys with Zerglings from that direction.
Yeah. So he's just staying out here. He's basically monitoring the Zerg on 4 bases. The Oracles are going to come through here again, but Queen well positioned is going to drive that back out. We've got melee attack about halfway done. Blink's about to finish up here as well. We've got a few more gateways that are about to wrap up. I would not be shocked if we see a 4th base here from Protoss.
Yeah, I think it's on the cards in the near future.
Yeah.
Right now, he hasn't taken his gases yet at the 3rd base, which indicates he's not teching up just yet. Going to go into the charge, no storm on the ring, anything like that. Okay, now we do see the 5th and 6th gas, so he'll have enough to tech further along. And he's going to pressure with these Oracles and the Stalkers here.
Okay, they're going to come up here and just shave off the creep. There is a hatch over here at 3 o'clock, but it's actually kind of hard to get over there and hit that. The way this map is shaped, he could try to go from above and hit it from that ramp up there, but I don't know if he even knows it's there yet. But yeah, there's been a little bit of pressure put on here. You know, the Oracle Stalker combo, it's pretty hard to engage, especially off creep. You can't really surround it with Lings because the Oracles melt everything. Infestation Pit coming here.
Yeah, and just 18 drones on the production tab for Rogue. He's feeling safe right now. He says, okay, the Stalker pressure is not coming or is over. I'm going to drone up a lot. Here, the Protoss army is moving out once again, and that 3 o'clock base is actually Rogue's 5th. So if it falls, it's not the end of the world. You just want 4 bases at the moment at least to support this economy that you have. And only now is the Protoss taking their base, and here come the Lings. Big stasis wards, but there's still so many Lings remaining here. Hero will be forced to recall out of there, but he does get the hatch.
Doesn't even lose a unit.
Yeah.
That was perfect. This is so bad for Rogue. And this is as the 4th base is going to be finishing up here for Hero. So Hero's going to come out again. And this time he's got a little bit more. And I mean, I don't see any reason to not just move out and try to poke and build pressure and try to shave off as many Lings and other units as you can over time.
Yeah, and we have no Hydralisks out for Rogue or anything at the moment. It's just a ton of Ling Bane. And he's going to try and use that to go quick hive into Ultralisks, I would presume. He's getting his +2 melee as well, but only melee units against the Protoss army can be difficult for a while. And you've got to get some big Baneling connections if you want to be able to fend off these massive pushes here. Especially with Archons in the mix. They're so good against all these Lings and Banes.
Okay, he's going to come push here again, and he's going to be able to deny this. In fact, this may just be canceled. The Banes are going to come in. A nice attack from above. He does blink away. The Banes are hitting from every single angle, but honestly, right now, I mean, a lot of the Archons are kind of tanking this. You know, the last thing you want to have your Banelings spent on is Archons.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think he's okay.
Yeah, it looks like he is surviving.
And his hatch is going to finish, only to be destroyed. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know why I sounded like that when I said that. I don't know why I turned into like an old witch. I was like, I like to be destroyed. Sorry, man. So this is pretty bad. I mean, Hero's basically got this wrecking ball army that's going around the map. He's taking out base after base. It's going to be Zerg on 4 bases again, although I guess as I say that, the bottom center base over here, a little bit to the left, that one, just finishes up.
Yeah, I think the big issue in that fight was he didn't have Balin speed. We just see it finishing up now, so the Balins waddled in, but weren't able to get their connections. It was some of that fight was on creep. If you have the Balin speed, you maybe get some good hits in there, but not going to be the case. Hero now pushing the issue, picking off even more units as he's becoming closer and closer to maxed out. Adrenal on the way for Rogue, so his upgrades are good at least. That's the one thing we can say. And his Ultra Caverns finishing up now.
Yeah, he's going to come down here again, doing a little bit of damage and blinking away. You know, the Banes can't quite get their targets over here. I don't know how much longer Rogue can be in this game if this attack kills his hatchery. Because there's nothing else that Protoss has to do but just kind of go between these, every new 5th base, just take it out and then go back out again.
Oh, hold that thought, Tastes. Lings actually get in. A portion of the army recalled will be enough, but there is Burrow available. He's going to target down this fort to deny the upgrade. There are Stalkers here to try and fight back. Will he be able to get it? Looks like he will. So that upgrade, level 3 ground weapons denied. These units unburrow here. The natural as well. Rogue fighting back suddenly. And that's actually bought him a lot of time to get his ultras online. We see 3 almost done. The kindness plating as well. And this Robo is going to get absolutely shredded by these cracklings. And here comes the Protoss army on creep now.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is Hero never turned around. He's just kind of been committed here the whole time. I mean, there's a lot of damage being dealt over here, and I don't know that Protoss... Oh, God, that's a lot of Banes connected there. Did Hero just screw this game up? I think he might have.
Yeah, Rogue, now that he has his power spike with these ultras, is taking some kind of face-on fights here. Going to start to shred some of these Protoss units. The Archons, there's still a lot of them remaining. There's still a Void Ray, but here comes some more Lings to help clean this up finally. And a Spore Crawler, nice touch there. And these Lings on Burrow once again.
Oh my God, they kill so many workers there. And Protoss is barely functioning right now. 37 probes. The Burrow is just so hard to deal with. A lot of times you don't even know that they've, if you've wiped them out or not, right? It can happen so fast. This base up here at 12 is going to be killed off.
And somehow Rogue's in control of this game. I thought it was looking really bad for him in the mid game. I thought he wouldn't survive until the ultras. Look at those burrowed ultras.
He's just underground like,
it hurts. The Overmind is cruel, but these Lings are just running wild, shredding everything. They're still there, burrowed. That looks so funny. Or just the one now, but everything dying to these Lings. Hero down to 26 workers.
Yeah, Hero's going to lose this hatchery too. I got to say, when Rogue plays, it's like it's its own race. He did a really good job with this. I think the Hero might just be losing the game now. I don't know that he can recover from this. He has 23 workers, and you have to imagine Rogue has made enough of whatever he needs in order to fight this next wave.
Yeah, indeed. Dude, a burrowed Ultralisk must be the scariest thing ever. Imagine you just walk past it and it's suddenly unburrowed. It's just
I know.
massive.
What's funny is the idea that that thing would burrow and then you would be like, where did it go? Size of a building. It's just like, oh my God, it's gone. They disappeared.
There's so many Ultras here at the 4th base for Rogue. We'll be able to clear up all these Protoss units. Hero just hanging on, but he does not have much left. We'll be forced out of this game momentarily, just has a Warp Prism and a Dream, basically.
Yeah. No, I think he's cooked, man. GG. Looks like Rogue takes game number 1, keeping the Zerg hope alive.
Keeping the dream alive.
Right.
For the Cabal.
That's right.
But yeah, what a game. That was that was insane. Surviving with just Ling Bane. Like, Ling Bane Ultra is a unit comp that we know. It's a strat that we know.
Yeah.
But these timings that Hero hits is very difficult to hold them until you get your tier 3 online, until you get Adrenal, until you get Ultras out. And without Banelin speed, I'm really impressed that he was able to kind of ride out the mid game and get to where he needed to be.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game. It's funny because I think Hero was playing so well but didn't respect the actual power of the counterattacks. Like, he kind of thought, okay, well, what did he kill, like 3 hatches? 3 5th bases?
Yeah.
And then I think he tried to basically...
Three,
yeah, I think it was. And then he tried to just push in and clear it out. And the counterattacks were so good. and in so many locations. And the fact that he didn't recall with everything immediately, I think he tried to basically end the game. And instead, like, everything fell apart. And, you know, a Zerg on 4 bases can still produce quite a bit.
Yes.
So taking those Nexuses out, taking out all those workers, I mean, that was basically such a crippling blow that then there was nothing else that Hero could do.
Yeah, indeed. And Rogue droned up really hard after the initial Stalker pressure. He went up to straight to about 88 drones, I think it was, which is a big economy. Like, and you make your 4th and your 5th base as the Zerg, and if the Protoss kills one, you're still a 4-base Zerg.
Right.
So you still have good economy, enough mineral lines to support 88 drones, and the Protoss doesn't have their 4th base up yet. So just getting the 5th doesn't feel like quite enough damage in that situation, but yeah, very, very cool game number 1. We do move on to Celestial Enclave here for game 2.
It's a probe immediately coming out on the map here.
Yeah.
So he's going to come up here, and, you know, let's see what exactly Hero wants to do differently. I think he could have won that game, by the way. I think he was supposed to win that game. It's pretty wild to see a game where, like, someone's consistently winning for, like, 75% of it, and then in under a minute, the other players completely turned the game upside down.
Yeah, like you said, it was the counterattacks, I think. We had the classic hero wall at the top of the main instead of the natural. Not doing that this game. Does have his pylon on the low ground. Going to send this probe in to get a scout, check what Rogue is up to. Some Zergs go, you know, 3 hatchery before gas, something crazy like that. We obviously see Rogue is not doing that. Just going for the standard hatch gas pool here.
Yeah. So he's going to just chase his probe out now. You know, Heroes always like to have that kind of active style with the Stalkers and the Oracles on the map, kind of building that pressure up and just whittling down the Zerglings, blinking back, using the Oracles to blast down the Lings and everything. I wouldn't be shocked if he goes for it again, but, you know, he has to make the adjustments of not letting the counterattacks completely rug pull him out of the game entirely.
Yeah, I think with the Burrow, like you said, it was so difficult to deal with, and Adrenal Lings just kill everything so quickly. But right now, we do see Heroes taking his natural. Neither player opting for the pocket base. It is almost a half base, so not really worth it in the early game. Maybe you can take it later on. This game, the Overlord is there. If he does go for a Void Ray, I would love to see him kill that this game. I think that was a big kind of slip up in the last game. Not clearing out the Overlord at the natural allowed Rogue to get a lot of information about what is going on. And when you have a Void Ray, there's basically no reason to not take it out.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what the Void Ray is there to do, right? Let's see if he even goes for a Void Ray again this time around, or if he does something different. Hero's pretty good at rotating early game builds, even if he sometimes ends up in the same spot later on. But yeah, but it's going to be a little bit of a slow start here, you know.
Yeah, we see this probe running around, trying to avoid these Lings. And this game here is actually moving out with the Adepts. I like this. He was quite passive last game, I thought. Only send the Void Ray across, not the Adepts. He even gets a block at the 3rd base of Rogue. This is nice. He's going to delay the 3rd base. Oh, no, he's actually going to take it at the pocket base. Okay. That's interesting because that's not there's only 1 gas there. It's not going to give him the full eco that you would get from a base outside your main. Okay,
so he's just continuing to scout with that Adept, make sure everything is par for the course so far here. We do have that Oracle coming out, so it's going to be a little bit of a deviation from the style that we saw earlier. But again, you could still end up with, you know, the same Stalker Oracle pushes here, just no Void Ray coming out right away.
Yeah, Stalker as well is going to be coming out, and with the Oracle, we'll be able to shoo away this Overlord at the natural. The Adepts don't commit to the Shade, so he doesn't know about this pocket base just yet. I imagine an Oracle will go over there at some point just to get the confirmation that he has made that hatchery and it's not an insane 2-base play. Although saying that, we have quite a fast layer on the way for Rogue, getting it at 345, so definitely the potential for some tricky stuff here.
He's going to go for that Fleet Beacon. Oh, it's so dirty. Wow. Okay, so we were talking about this in the last cast.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you'll just see them get a second Stargate, and here it is.
Yeah, indeed. And Rogue sees there's no 3rd base yet. I'm not sure if he has a way to scout the pocket base, but...
going straight from 1 right up to 100 here.
Yeah, 2nd Stargate on the way as well. We're going to have some capital ships coming here soon, but Rogue has a quick layer, so he can get his Spire quickly, make Corruptors if he needs them.
Right.
He kind of has the tools that he needs right now, as long as he can figure out what's going on.
Okay, it's going to be Tempests. Wow.
Well, with the upgrade as well.
Yeah.
That does damage, extra damage to buildings. I forgot the name of it.
I was going to say, don't ask me. I'm actually so bad. A long time ago in Artosis, we started to cast, we were like, don't ever ask me the name of it up. We always have these weird names within our heads. And then,
I think it's like, I'm not even going to go there. It's tectonic something or other, I think. I don't know. But it does extra damage to buildings, so you will be able to pick off hatcheries, all the Zerg buildings a little bit quicker.
so what is the idea with this? Do you want to try to come up from a side and like blow up that back base maybe? Like the little free one that Zerg gets over there, and then you can just recall it back home?
That is an option. You can also just sit in some airspace, picking off drones. And, you know, you don't have to overcommit into Tempest. You can make the Zerg make a ton of Corruptors and transition. Or you can double down. We do see he's got a third base. These rocks are under attack right now, and this Ling spots the move out of the first Tempest.
Yeah, he's going to come over here with those right to that place we were talking about earlier and try to hit that.
He's gone for Hydralisks, which, if they can engage the Tempest, they can beat them.
But that's the question, if they can get underneath them,
Exactly.
right? I mean, Tempest, there's a big vacant area here, right where the, well, we're not looking at them now, but the Tempest, yeah, right over here. There's a huge area. I mean, the Hydras can never get under there. Oh, I don't know about going for the Extractor. Did he A-move that?
Maybe. I'm not sure exactly.
No,
3 spores
now
move
I
up.
have to use a drone to rebuild this.
The spores will go so down so quick that once that upgrade finishes up. Ling somehow got in the main. I have no idea how that happened, but units come back for Hero.
Oh my God, Hero, you're gonna lose your Tempest. Be careful. Taking damage from spores over here. So he's gonna have 4 Tempests over there, and look at this. Rogue is so smart. He's just gonna ignore it. He's like, I don't care. I can just actually attack over here at the front, and there's not a lot that that he's got. Okay, the Hydras are going to trigger that, so that's going to get at least 2 frozen there. I think Protoss now has enough to actually win this. Maybe not, actually. I don't get to see Stalkers that are slow fight Hydras very often, but you can really appreciate how much damage they do when you watch the fight actually go down. So he's going to recall that. But when he recalls that, the Hydras could just run underneath it and hit it, but they don't.
Yeah, the Tempests are hiding at the back of this base here. A lot of units starting to fall for the Zerg. He's only on 55 drones right now. Very committed to this push, and it looks like Hero might be hanging on as long as he keeps these Tempests alive. 2 of them weak earlier from the Spore Crawlers. Actually forced to pull the probes as well. This is going to be a little bit dicey on both sides right now. Is he going to make the jump and try and get on these Tempests? Okay, pulls the probes once more.
I mean, here's the thing is, you know, eventually something has to protect these probes, and there's just nothing there, right? The Tempests aren't going to cut it. They can't tank for the probes. So a lot of workers have been picked off here, and there's more coming.
Yeah, indeed. More Zerg streaming across the map. The Lings are fast. These probes cannot fight these Hydras. They'll get kited all day. The Zealots fall, and it looks like Hero might be doing it here. His Tempests are kind of the only thing keeping him in this game right now, I feel like. Some more Stalkers have been warped in. Oh, that Tempest is going to go down.
Oh, my God. Okay, so there's more Lings coming up. Remember, the Hydras, they'll prioritize the Tempest and hit it, but the probes are still going down. This is 30 probes that have been killed off so far.
Yeah, and the damage doesn't end there. More and more Zerg streaming into the main base of Hero. He's running out of juice here on his last legs. Probes from the main pulled. One more Tempest comes back in, but he's going to fall immediately here, Texas.
I mean, am I wrong? This game's done. He's at 33 supply.
Yeah.
There's nothing working. Dude, Zerg's too strong. Blizzard, if you're listening, Zerg is too good. And I think we need to make both the Zergling and the Hydralisk a little bit weaker. It's the only solution.
This game is proof.
Yeah. Listen, guys, when Rogue wins this whole tournament, I don't want any complaining. Incredible.
Okay.
GG Rogue wins. Or not wins. Well, he wins that game. But not the series.
Not
Not
yet.
easy being a caster. It's not easy getting my point out here.
There's more than one game
What am I
in
trying
a
to
series.
say? Yeah, thank you. Well, that was really impressive.
Yeah, I'm just interested in Rogue's build there because normally to defend against Templars, you would go for a quick Spire. But he went for the Hydras, so I'm kind of curious if he was like intending on all in with Hydras from the beginning.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Or if it was a response to the Tempests. He said, okay, I can't fight them because I can't get under them,
Yeah.
so I'll just go across the map.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like a great offense like that actually does become a great defense because they're not,
Right.
they can't just, you know, Tempests are really strong, but they kill stuff over a long period of time. Even with that building damage upgrade, like the amount of damage that was snowballing over at the Protoss' base, even when he recalled, there was no ground army.
Yeah.
The probes are just getting massacred.
Yeah, indeed. And they take a lot of control as well. You have to babysit them. You can't just move them because they're going to run onto a spore or into hydras. They have to be microed very carefully. And you can't do that when you're defending an all-in at home as well.
Yeah, yeah. Guys, go and subscribe to our YouTube. It is, I think we were 10K before. Now we're 11K. That's 10% increase. Look at me doing math. I'm really feeling confident today in the cast here. We need to grow this thing. You know, the reality is StarCraft 2 is so big on YouTube, and there's a lot of great StarCraft 2 content creators already out there, but our channel's still pretty small, so we're trying to kind of get into that algorithm, get into the bloodstream there on YouTube. So go there, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment. That also, excuse me, that also helps us out as well.
Yeah, and you can get all your content over there, spoiler-free, in order, all nicely laid out for you so you don't miss a thing if you couldn't catch the broadcast live.
That's right. Guys, we're going to take a short break. When we return, this Best of 5 will continue on. We'll be right back.
Before there's any Colossus out.
Dude, Clem juggling individual Marines in and out of that medevac, trying to make sure no stalkers pick them off. Really nice micro there, and here he comes. He's moving across the map. There's actually a medevac here in the third base of MaxPax. Not going to pick off too much. The shield battery is there, forced to lift into this airspace, and it looks like he's trying to buy himself some time or open up a position for this tank to get where it needs to be to siege up and start hitting something.
Yeah, and this is hitting before Colossus has even started, so this is going to be a long way out for MaxPax. He's going to have to defend with just the gateways, but it's going to be great and easy with those couple force fields right on that ramp. That was excellent. Able to force Clem to pick up and get on out of there, so really clutch defense so far from MaxPax, buying extra time for that Colossus stay alive, and now the Warp Prism comes in for the backstab as all of the units are rallying across. This is going to be really good for MaxPax.
This Warp Prism is so well timed, just as Clem is trying to make his move here. He suddenly has to worry about that back home. Whilst Micro and his army at the front, you have to be careful on both sides here. Even pulling some SCVs, 5 going down. This is really good for MaxPax, and he's on the tank already. The tank falls, the Widowmine goes off on only one Zealot. That's perfect. And Clem's forced to retreat here. MaxPax dealing with this extremely well.
Yeah, this is just perfect from MaxPax. Delays perfectly long enough with those force fields, allows the Prism to get the backstab, and then while Clem is distracted, pounces on the attack, kills off the tank with a nice flank of Zealots, goes in with the rest of the units, forces Clem away, and is now able to take this fourth base cleanly with his Colossus coming back as well. MaxPax takes a really nice advantage in this mid-game. Even finds this Raven randomly in the side. This is looking great for him.
That's a very nice pick-off there. That Raven looking a little bit lost ahead of the Terran army, and I like how quickly he takes the fourth. As soon as the pressure is off him, he says, okay, I'm safe. I'm taking this fourth base right now, and it started just before the third of Clem finished. If you get a cancel on this Nexus, that would be nice. The Protoss army out of position right now, and it is forced to cancel. If he can keep these medevacs alive. Oh, one goes down. Lucky not to lose two, perhaps.
Yeah, he was really trying to split the fire there. You can see he was trying to go for the furthest one and then hopefully get one more shot from the Stalkers onto the weak one, as that's the one that actually had all the units in. And of course, he can't really know that. It's hard to notice where they get picked up into. But regardless, they will just get found anyway, because two Stalkers diligently left behind by MaxPax. So nicely done to be able to kill that off. And it looks like he's trying to mount an attack over to that third base now as well, since all of his army is moving over there. And he's got his War Prism still alive to the left-hand side. It was denied by a couple Widow Mines, but not actually killed. So he's still going to be able to launch this attack and potentially bust down this third base.
Yeah, this army from the Protoss is looking quite large right now. A ton of Zealots, Colossus in the back, two of them firing away. No Vikings inside. They will reign supreme. Right now he's hit a CC. He needs to bring that second Colossus into the fight. The SCVs are pulled. The splash damage, though, is a lot here. Clem just trying to hang on, but he's taken so much economic damage in this fight already.
It's just over. Game. Jeez, MaxPax with a clinical game number 1 on Old Republic. This is now very interesting. Clem is 1 game away from getting knocked out of the RSL first in his group. That's like...
Dude, if Clem and Reyna don't go out, make it out of the groups,
what?
it's a bad day for Europe, man.
That's insanity, actually, that this could actually be happening. I mean, MaxPac just steamrolled him. Like, that was just so perfect. Dealt with the eBay block, dealt with the harassment, dealt with the actual push itself, and then just launches himself across the map. I mean, that prism timing was so
dude.
excellent. That's like the understanding of when to... Okay, it sounds kind of dumb. Okay, like, okay, you see the armies are right...
No, when you say it, Gemini.
The army is right in front of you. Of course, now's the time to go over the war prism. What's so hard about that? But, like, finding the time of when to make the prism exactly, like, do you get an extra immortal? Do you get a couple of observers to actually scout around? Do you rush directly into the Colossus first to be able to defend? Finding the right time to get the prism is difficult, and then actually sending it across with the most opportune timing when all of the units aren't just kind of sitting there on the rally as well, because sometimes that happens. The Terran just, you go in with the prism, but then they're just rallying at home, so anyway, nothing happens, and then there's no damage. But I don't know, MaxPac just has a great understanding of how that push was going to work and just executed it perfectly.
Yeah, I feel like he sent the prism a lot quicker than most Protoss would. They maybe like to keep it at home. You know, you have some.
Welcome back, everybody. We're midway through the series of Rogue versus Hero. Rogue currently up 2-0, and this is looking like it's going to be a very quick day if Hero can't find any way back in this series.
Yeah, his back's to the wall now. He needs to pull out something here. Rogue, I mean, what can you say? He's just in amazing form right now. He's playing so damn good.
Yeah, I know. I was really just not expecting him to come out swinging this hard against Hero. It's honestly kind of shocking that he's even in the lower bracket in the first place with how well he's been playing. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see if he can just kind of close this series out nice and cleanly, or if Hero can find his form a little bit more and just kind of fight back. Because if Rogue just clinches this 3-0 nice and easy, I feel like this is a moment where, like, a lot of Protoss players are just going to be like, well, I do not want to play against Rogue in this tournament at all. Like, he just seems like he really understands the matchup in his own weird roguey way, because he really, like Tasteless kept mentioning it, he does play so uniquely compared to everybody else. So, yeah, he's got a really interesting, fresh take on this matchup.
Speaking of unique, I do not think we'll see that Tempest build again. That was kind of a, you try it once, and if the Zerg's just trying to macro up and drone, then you're going to get some damage. Maybe you can go into a normalish game. There's the pocket base, so you don't have to defend too many angles. But, I mean, Rogue was going for a Hydra all-in potentially already, so he's able to close out the game. The third map will be 10,000 feet. I heard you guys talking about meters earlier. I didn't really hear it. What were you guys saying about meters?
He was
talking smack on meters
No,
again?
he was just wondering how many meters or something that was, and we said we needed you on the desk to do that. So I think we already did that last time.
Did you figure it out?
No, I didn't.
I think it's
no
like,
reason to do that.
Is it like? Oh, okay. Shall I not?
Well, you can do it.
I think it's like 3.3 or just under 3.3 feet to a meter. So if you have 100,000 feet,
10,000 feet.
Is it 10,000? Oh,
10,000
yeah. If you have 10,000 feet,
if you have 5 billion
it
feet.
would be, what, 3,000?
Doing math on air, man. Jesus, that is
3,000 meters.
Did we do it?
Someone in chat confirmed.
The other European guy just said no.
1 meter. Okay, whatever. 3,300, right? Because it's 3.3-ish.
And we're doing this on a 3-minute delay with chat as well. So
that's fine.
We're not going to know this.
Chat's got my back. Someone confirm 3,300 meters. 3,048?
Nice. Thank you, Ziggy, with the quick maths.
The thousands was close enough.
Nice. All right. So what was it? 3,000 what?
48.
All right. We got 3,048 meters here as our next map. Both players going to be playing pretty standard so far, and nothing super crazy. So Rogue is not going to go for any early pools. He's not going to go for any proxy hatches like we've sometimes seen in the past. Hero also going to be just doing his normal low ground wall and everything, so we'll be nice and simple. So I would not be surprised if we see just the normal Stargate coming out of Hero. I don't expect anything super cheeky from him.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see any more Tempests here. Hero's going to bring out his best tried and tested builds, probably, but it's also Hero, so you never know. He has a big bag of tricks, and he can pull out any build at any moment. This probe, just getting a scout, nothing crazy. It will leave the base shortly after being a nuisance.
Yeah, it's just going to block some more probes, or sorry, some more drones with that, you know, annoying, pesky nature. Hero is just so good at this stuff, man. He is, like, always the most obnoxious with his early probe scouts, always tries to harass. I remember there's a point in time in his phase where he was just pylon scouting versus Terran just to be annoying with the probe, which is, like, so random, and he would actually kill SCVs with it sometimes, building the CC and whatnot, so... he loves absolutely going for that type of early stuff, and we'll keep that probe in that base for as long as humanly possible before he sends it on back home. So we'll keep it alive as nicely as that is, and we'll send those couple adepts across the map as well to take its place, basically. Nope, never mind. The probe's going to go back. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I guess he wants to confirm the third base location. He sees it's not at the front. That's already some information. We've seen some games where Rogue will take like a front base and then just all in. Sometimes it's the fourth, but yeah, just sees there isn't one there. He's going to go back to a Void Ray first here, which he did in game number 1. Game number 1, he didn't clear out the Overlord of the Natural, so I'd love to see him do that this time to deny some information. And here comes the first Adept now.
Yeah, it's just going to be used for scouting. Would be very surprised if he actually completes this. Just wants to see a look on the drone count, take a look on the ling count and everything. Sees plenty of drones and a couple of them spawning from the natural as well. So rules out any sort of super fast ling all-in or something like that, which we really never see anymore anyways. Protoss players are so good at scouting and defending that nowadays, especially with energy recharge. One Oracle can honestly defend that kind of stuff very, very easily. So won't be seeing any of that, but just always good to double check. Now gets that double adept into the main base as well. Might complete that, but just decides to cancel it for now, as he's going to bring this Void Ray along to kill off some Overlords and try to maybe use the adepts to kind of either keep the Queens away or actually make the Overlord, have the Void Ray bait them away, but looks like he's just going to continue to keep everything alive.
Yeah, that did supply block Rogue momentarily, but he had more in production, so not the biggest of deals as these Queens do come over to finally get rid of this Overlord. Void Ray. I saw the Overlord on the screen.
I know, I do that so often.
To get the Scout here. Skycraft units are hard, but he will get the Scout here with this Overlord. It's going to go down. Will it see the Twilight before it does? It's... close.
Oh, he's got a second one.
He's got a second one. He's got a buddy.
He's got the Tasteless Overlord there to go along with it. So we'll be able to get the confirmation on that. That's actually very cute the way Rogue did that, though. Suiciding that one Overlord to then have the second one on the right-hand side. So it may seem like Hero denied the Scout, but Rogue actually gets it. So Hero might be working with false information at this point, thinking that Rogue might not know exactly what the follow-up is, and there might be some kind of thing he's trying to mind game with that, but it's not the biggest thing in the world, but Rogue is able to get that information and sees the extra gateways coming down as well, so that's a lot of good stuff from him, especially considering there's a Void Ray on the map, so again, this shouldn't even be possible.
Yeah, very good point, and Rogue is making 2 hatcheries right now, but only one of them is on a base, so we have a macro hatch in the wall here as well as an Evo. This could be for melee and lots of Zerglings is what I would imagine. Yeah, we do see the +1 melee go down. You need a little bit more lava than you have with just the 4 hatches, so gets another one in his wall there. I like that. Gonna have a ton of production available.
Yeah, it's very interesting. You don't see this very often. Yet again, another little unique twist to the matchup from Rogue. You don't see these macro hatches being thrown down all the time. So he's going to be able to pump out plenty of units with this extra hatchery. A couple of adepts finally getting surrounded by some of these lings, but thankfully that Void Ray is there. We'll be able to keep them alive, but they will get the scout on the Stalkers coming across the map. And now this is the next phase of this game where Hero will be on the aggression with this Blink Stalker play. How much damage can he actually get done with this poke?
Yeah, and Rogue's all the way up to 73 drones. He's made quite a lot. Here come the lings, the initial ones. There's no stasis trap here at the moment, so they will actually get a wraparound on these Stalkers. Some of them blink out. Here comes the next round. Blink will be off cooldown for just a moment. A couple Stalkers will fall here.
Yeah, it's actually really nice for Rogue. A great first engagement. Almost kills off that Oracle as well with the Queens, but we'll need to back up to the creep, get some more of those lings, and then wait as well for +1 melee to finish. That's when it will really swing to his favor, but that's a good momentum stopper there for Rogue. Doesn't allow Hero to snowball super heavily with the Stalkers just yet. Will try to now go for the big surround yet again as some of those Stalkers are off cooldown. Will be able to get them and trap them into this little corner. Can they actually blink across? I don't know if they can. It seems like the answer might be no, as a lot of these Stalkers are starting to get killed off.
Yeah, he might just have enough firepower anyway as more Stalkers come over to help out their friends there. Thieseling is going to run by, see what's being made here. Get a little scout, and then we'll have to leave. We have a Banelin nest behind this, as well as a 5th base, which will actually be on a base location. So it looks like he's playing Hydraling Bane for the moment. No further upgrades on the way right now. I'm curious if we'll see a +2 melee or a range coming out here shortly. Probably the melee. Yeah, there it is. There's the +2 melee. You're going to go predominantly Ling Bane here and maybe try and crash through the Protoss at some point.
Yeah, I love that these Lings are continuing to shark around. We know that Hero is someone that will always leave that door open, so if they could ever find a way into the natural, into the main base to get an extra deep scout, maybe kill a couple of workers, that would be great for Rogue. So always keeping those alive, trying to get as much information as possible. Finds the fourth base on the right-hand side, which is a bit of a unique spot as well, mining out those minerals on that ramp. So we'll use this as kind of an anchoring point to kind of continue to pressure the right side of the map is what Hero is going for, as some Lings do get scouted on the left-hand side, but still a large amount of them actually engaging these Stalkers and joining up with the ones on the left. Nice blink over, though. We'll be able to juke them for just a moment, but there's still so many. They're going to get a nice surround on so many of those Stalkers. Oh my god, they actually just evaporate. That was a crazy move from Rogue.
Rogue's winning with basically mass Ling here and a handful of Hydras at the back. Really nice moves there. I love the way he kept running with the Lings way past the Stalkers, so when they do blink eventually, they blink into the surround basically. Very good control by Rogue. He's drawn up to 84. He's got his 5th base on the way. He's getting all his upgrades, Bane speed on the way, Hydra range +1 and +2 melee, going for the double Evo. The only thing we don't see is a Hive at the moment, so it looks like he's going to be stuck on layer tech for the moment, trying to get something done here.
We have a fast fleet beacon coming in from Hero as well, likely going to be going into a very fast mothership. Losing that Oracle is actually very annoying as well. Not having the revelations constantly on the army is going to make it very difficult to know exactly where Rogue is going. Nicely timed charge lot attack, though, will distract Rogue for just a moment. You saw him kind of move some of his units back as he kind of just sections them off. So it doesn't really do any damage, but it just buys Hero some more time because he really does need it as he's trying to find a position on the right side.
Well, Hero's got to be very careful about moving out on the map right now. Rogue just maxed out, and that was his cue to send this attack. So he needs to be defending here. We have a Tempest on the way.
He's getting Lingbane Hydra all in, and he's making Tempests, which is, I feel like, not exactly the greatest idea. I mean, sure, they're going to be good against Hydras eventually, once you can get a lot of them, and their range is really good, and they will just kind of one-shot them, but I don't know, man. I feel like you need to get just more ground. Like, we need Storm, we need Templar, even some Archons more so. The Mothership is also really good to be able to do the cloaking and the Time Warp and everything. And their damage, honestly, is not that bad now as well, that they got that kind of buff with, like, the 4 different shots and everything. So, I don't know. We'll see if he's able to get enough Tempest. It seems like he's only made that 1 for now because he sees so many more units coming out from Rogue. This is going to get real tricky to defend.
Yeah, but somehow Hero managed to buy himself like a minute there to delay the attack, but finally it will come. He's hitting on 2 sides right now. The Banes run into the mineral line, nothing hit to defend them except a photon cannon. They will have to evacuate. On the other side, we see Lingbane Hydra pushing this base. The static D starting to fall. A lot of probes being run around, starting to die. 24 workers, 27 already. Rogue getting some damage done here.
Yeah, that's some great economic damage, but did he really kill much of the army is the question. Of course, if Hero can continue to sustain a lot of this army supply, he will be able to eventually do a massive counter blow as another wave of Banelings try to find their way into the probe lines, into these Zealots. We'll be able to take some pretty good connections as the rest of the Archons are also falling on the ground. Hero is dipping below 70 supply. The Mothership is here to try and save whatever it can, but this is getting really tough to defend by Hero.
The 4th base goes down for Hero. Rogue in a very commanding lead right now. Almost 40 more workers, more army supply, more bases. Even as the macro hatch still upgrading. And Hero's making immortals right now. I mean, Rogue's done it basically. He just has to not overextend, not do anything crazy, max out again, probably send the next wave, and he should be able to do, you know, a lot of damage once more. I kind of feel like if the Archon count gets really high, they can trade well against the Ling Bane, but Rogue's just so ahead right now.
Yeah, I really question the decision to just go for such fast Tempest in this position. I feel like Hero maybe didn't quite identify exactly what Rogue is going for, maybe expecting him to play it more passively, faster into the lurkers, which is what you want this fast Tempest transition for. Completely skipping Storm against someone who's massing Lingbane Hydra just seems like such a difficult situation to put yourself in. So yeah, I mean, we're seeing the result of that right now is Rogue is nearing max supply, whereas Hero can barely get up to 150. He's just trying to mass up as many Immortals and as many Archons as possible, just to have as much beef to his army to actually sustain against all of these Lings and Banes. But he's going to need a lot more time and a lot more distraction to be able to get an army out that can actually go up against what Rogue's got on the map.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about the Tempest choice. If you think back to the series Rogue had against Trigger, he went Hydra Lingbane into Hive, and I'm kind of curious if Hero watched that and thought, okay, maybe that's what he's doing this game. Because normally you do what Rogue did this game with Hydra Lingbane. You send it. You max out or you get a lot of supply and you kind of shove, but against Trigger, he didn't do that. He went for Hive, so maybe it was an adaptation to that or maybe just a misread. But anyway, here we are. Rogue kind of knows he's in a good position as long as Hero doesn't get a 4th base here.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of denying that, just sitting here with these Lings. We'll be able to deny this as a couple more also went into the main base yet again. So even though Hero is just sitting here on these 3 bases, somehow Ling's still trying to find their way and will actually get into the main bases. And now Rogue is in a position where he can just kind of hunker down for a little bit as well, just kind of recoup, make sure he's got his next tech transition coming up. He's got his 2-2 on the way as well. He's got his Spire finish. He's got upgrades coming out for his Corruptor. He's got the Infestation pick coming for the Hive. So he's going to be able to transition much later if the game does drag on, but he still is going to be looking for an opportunity to end it if he can. To be fair, though, for Hero, this army is actually looking pretty decent at this point. He's got a lot of Archons now. The army supply is pretty much even with Rogue. It's just the worker supply is so much lower that it's making the overall supplies look a bit different. Ling's on the left-hand side, going to try to distract as the other army goes from the right, but will back off as this army from Hero, like I was saying, is actually kind of threatening.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for Rogue letting Hero get so high in supply. I wonder if there's a way he could take some trades to leverage his larger economy and try and keep the lead here, because if Hero maxes out on a lot of Archons and Immortals with some air units, it's going to be very difficult to kill without Hive units.
Yeah, he's trying to get into the Hive, of course. Could also go for that Greater Spire to eventually get Broodlords, but with Tempest already on the map, it's still also difficult. Huge surround getting thrown down by Rogue. The Cloak on the Mothership will try to help, but there's so many Overseers, so it doesn't really matter. Zealots trying to run away from the Baneling, so the Hydras will be left alone with the Immortals and Archons. We'll be able to take some decent trades for now as the Zealots finally start to get killed off, but the Hydras will stay alive for the most part and just back off to go for another one. Eventually, remax is very easy to do from Rogue in this position, so Hero, while he kind of took a decent trade for the most part in the beginning, he can't recoup this army in the way that Rogue can.
Yeah, and I think it was important that Rogue fought him on his side of the map, on Hero's side of the map, so that he does have time to remake the units with his larger economy. The Lings will find the Zealots, and with upgrades, Lings can deal with Zealots just fine. This Archon, a little bit out of position, will go down. And this is it, the last stand for this Protoss army. He gets caught in the middle of the map. All the Lings and the Banes go in. Doesn't detonate the Banelings on the Immortals, of course. Just runs them around looking for Zealots. The Temp is full. Down go the Archons. And with it, Hero's chance in this game. Rogue takes it 3-0 over Hero. What an insane set.
That's incredible from Rogue. I mean, coming out swinging that hard in very unique looking games. Each game was very different in how it was approached as well. That one game, of course, having that mass ultra switch in the late game. We had the second game dealing well with the Tempest Rush, and then this game just doing so well with all of the Lingbane Hydra all over the map. And even though Hero was kind of holding on for quite a while and getting to that spot where it looked like maybe his army was going to just be kind of too threatening with just how many Archons it was able to get, just navigating the game perfectly, just trading out on the other side of the map, giving him time to recoup and remax, and then he's able to go for the big final blow and just punch Hero out of the tournament. It's crazy that Hero, who just won the season finals last year, is now out in the first round of the lower bracket.
You can never predict what's going to happen in the RSL, guys. I mean, yeah, think about Rogue's strategies. The only real common thing is that he usually opens with lots of Lings and melee, right? He goes for the +1 melee build a lot. Doesn't really go roaches apart from the time he all-in trigger. We didn't really see like fast layer into Hydra or anything like that. So usually a Ling opener. And then from there, he deviates. Sometimes it's Lingbane Ultra or Lingbane Hydra, whatever. So Rogue moves on. And I believe that
Don't do this again.
I believe he plays the winner of Mario and Beyond, the loser of Mario and Beyond.
Oh,
It switched.
we did it. We got the
We
head
got
nod
it.
from Ziggy.
And then the loser of Max Packs and Trigger will play Cure. That is action coming up at a later date. What's
Yeah.
happening tomorrow, Gemini?
Oh, what's happening tomorrow is what you just saw in the upper bracket, but now that we're looking at the schedule, oh, nice, Ziggy, bringing it right back. Always keeping me on my toes over here. But yes, you'll be seeing Mario Beyond and Max Packs Trigger tomorrow, which will be very nice. A couple of good PvP and TVT mirrors for all of you. Now let's go to that other thing, Ziggy. Thank you. All right, cool. Go, Steve, you can talk.
Yeah, this is the schedule, guys.
We've talked about this multiple times
Every
at this
day,
point. If you
yeah.
don't know what this is, you're probably living under a rock. You could go look on Wikipedia, really, if you wanted to. But anyways, here it is once again for your information. Yeah, we start early on the last day as well to get a nice big shebang at the end. And you know what else is a really good shebang? Archon Studio. Go ahead, Sturgeon. Take it away.
Thank you to Archon Studio, the premier tabletop miniatures game makers in the world. They've got some official StarCraft 2 tabletop figures and board game coming out here. We have the big box in the studio. Look at this thing, man. Look at it. Look at Gemini showing it off.
I'm trying my best.
It's beautiful. We have a video of Ziggy putting it together if you want to see that and how it all looks like. But there's a lot in here. Check it out. If you're a fan of tabletop games or just a fan of StarCraft looking for a new hobby,
Yeah.
this could be something that interests you.
Lots of stuff in here to build, so you will definitely have your time set out for you. So you have all that wonderful chance to build these cool little units and all these little miniatures. They look great. I've watched a couple of the videos actually of people actually playing the game now that it's out. And
Oh, really?
yeah, it looks really cool. Honestly, it looks very fun. I've never played these types.
I
of
want to
things.
cast a game with that.
Yeah, dude. They're very long. The one I watched was like almost 2 hours. So
Oh, wow.
they do go for a while. But anyways, love to see it, and it's very cool that they're continuing to support us.
Like you guys on the Patreon. Thank you so much to everyone who has signed up. If you haven't, please check it out. There's a variety of tiers. You can vote for maps and players. If you're an Immortal tier last year, I believe you get the signed poster.
Yep.
And if you sign up, when is it, by April 12th?
Yes.
If you sign up by April 12th, you enter a raffle to win one of the remaining posters.
Yes, I think we have that on a slide coming up, but we'll get that in a second. But anyways, join the Patreon to get other things too. Oh, now we get the raffle one. Great, awesome. So yeah, there's the raffle thing. We only made 50 of them, and so a lot of them are getting sent out to those other Immortals. So we will. Oh yes, we're getting the poster here as well. As I need to give it to Sturgeon. It might be upside down. No, yes it is.
I am the poster
Flip
holder.
it back around.
Don't show it yet, Ziggy. It's upside down.
This is not easy to do.
It's harder than it looks.
But yeah, we got this awesome poster made up from the offline finals last year to commemorate, and we're all going to be signing these. And so, yeah, Immortals last year in 2025, if you were an Immortal at any point or higher, at any point last year, you will just be getting one of these. So please look in your Patreon inbox. We're asking for your shipping information so we can get these across. But also, anyone that's a paid Patreon at any point up to April 12th, we will be giving a raffle of 10 of these away, again, signed by all of us. So, yeah, sign up to the Patreon to potentially get one of these really cool posters.
Yep. You do the next one while I hand this back to Ziggy.
Great, nice. We got the Tasteless TV swag coming at you, of course, at tastelessthreads.com. A 10% or something, whatever, 20%, sorry, 20% discount coming out as well if you are a Patreon supporter. So yeah, lots of stuff to see over there. You got the cool Tasteless and Artosis hilarious face picture shirt. You got your RSL stuff. You got random other gaming related merch as well. Tasteless has got some cool stuff up there. So take a gander.
Also, take a gander at the RSL YouTube. It's still rather small. We are trying to grow this thing. Thank you to everyone who has already gone over there and subscribed, liked. I see you guys writing loads of comments. We love to see it. If you haven't checked it out, please do. You can check out the spoiler-free VODs at your leisure whenever you have the time, if you can't catch it live. And yeah, help us spread the word. You know, the RSL is still growing. It's still in its infant stage.
Yes, we're just a little baby sucking our thumbs still. We want to be a nice, you know, capable adult on YouTube, basically, I guess, and get our massive YouTube going. But anyways, that's going to be it for today. We have more stuff coming tomorrow with those upper brackets matches in the playoffs. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. We'll see you then. For now, we'll be kicking it off, and I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next week, actually. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. But anyways, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Get out of here. See you later.